Hello and welcome to unMadeGaming, guys. It is Tuesday, and that means we are back with Curse of Strahd. Yeah, that's it. That's the intro for Curse of Strahd today. So, with me here today are our usual cast and crew. We'll go around, do introductions, and we'll get into the craziness of the game. We'll start with someone who's clearly not ready for it. Mr. Bitters, who are you? What are you doing here? What's in that cup, and who are you playing tonight?
I'm Mr. Bitters. It's not vodka. I might not hate everything. I don't know anymore.
Mm-hmm. It's a topsy-turvy world, my friend.
What are we doing here? There's something about vampires, and we drank a lot, and everything was good, except when it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I play Stewart Gibbs, the human fighter with the sweet sword on a stick.
Sword on a stick. Yep. Let's see. Who got drunk last time? We'll go with Rem. You got the drunkest. So who are you? What are you doing here? And who are you playing today?
I don't. Let's see. Did I get drunk? I know I got fortune told.
You rolled a nat 1 on your constitution.
That is true. That is true.
You had one beer or one glass of wine and then passed out.
I know, one glass deep. Yep. That's put on the waiters. I'm playing Auntie Nanny. She's a human wizard, sweet old woman, abjuration wizard, and she's kind of like a housemaid who may or may not be harboring dark possessive powers that upon releasing will cause some bad things to might happen.
Which is exciting. We'll see how that goes. I assume it's going to go real bad.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Someone else with possibly dark ties to magic. Frags, who are you? What are you doing here? And who are you playing today?
I am Frags, and I am playing Toddrick Ellisor.
Sure.
Yeah, I didn't think about that for a second. And Toddrick got really drunk last time, and I am a nature wizard, and sometimes I do Twitch stuff.
Sometimes,
yeah. I think there was something else I was going to say, but I kind of forgot.
Was it thank you for being a friend? Last but not least, Madfish, who are you? What are you doing here? And who are you playing tonight?
I'm Madfish. I'm playing Thorne Black Talon, who is the most metal barbarian ever. And I was trying to queue up some metal, but
some sweet guitar riffs.
Yeah, but technology fail. She really is very much into being very badass in any direction. So point her in a direction, and she will be badass at it.
That's true. She is like a badass cannon. You just direct it and then just unleash the badassery in a single line, and it's just like a bull in a china shop.
She's built for one thing, and then when she's not doing that, she eats.
Yes. Yep. Of the two things she does them well.
Oh no, she also decorates.
That's true. She does decorate her body in sweet skulls and bones, skull and gloss bones. So with that, we'll jump into the episode here, guys. Previously on Curse of Strahd. Entering the Barovian church to survey the damage that was done the previous night, Auntie Nanny aptly surmises that the captive Doru may have died in the fires that destroyed the church, and suggests that Thorne examine the undercroft. Not finding the captive boy, but instead finding a cloud of bats, the party quickly rallied to attempt to capture a particularly strangely acting bat. The bat, easily escaping the confines of the net, quickly transformed into the shape of a well-dressed nobleman, and calmly begins choking Father Donovich, offering to whisk Irina away to his castle. Upon her refusal, the nobleman evaporated into a fine mist and escaped through an open window. Washing their hands at the village of Barovia, the party, accompanied by Father Donovich and Irina, began their journey to the village of Vallaki. Happening upon a gallows crossroad, the group decided to take a shorter path through the woods. There they were met by a group of reveling Vistani travelers, settling in for the night, and their wizened old crone of a fortune-teller. So you guys have woken up in this Vistani camp. I believe, Stewart Gibbs, you are the first to awaken, as you are the most sober. And you awaken to see that the large, red, and colorful tent has been taken down, and all 4 of the carriages are no longer around you. You guys are sleeping next to logs and a burnt-out fire pit. What do you
But
do?
there are signs that there was habitation here the night before.
Yes, yeah. You can see wagon tracks leading away. You see that like where the tent was, there's like a depressions in the inner circle of it.
Well, this is probably the least creepy thing that's happened to us since we got here.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, that was just a good night. Hang out with these people, get drunk, there's music, friendship. And then you wake up, and there's no awkward goodbyes. They're just gone. Like, I think Stewart's having a good morning. He'll probably see what he can do to stoke the fire and like, get some something out of his bag to cook up and make sure breakfast's ready for everybody.
Yeah, so you see Auntie Nanny has one small wooden cup in her hand, and she has passed out. It looks like she might have fallen off a log.
I'm hugging it.
Yeah. You see Thorne, who is in the dead center of where the tent was, and she has scraps of food around her, as if she has made some kind of nest out of food bits. And you see Toddrick, who has someone else's pants on his head. And his pants are off. Which is a thing you've seen before.
Yeah, it's probably not the first time I've seen Toddrick that way.
Yeah.
The weird part this time is they're ladies' pants.
Yeah. And you don't remember seeing ladies. You're sure there might have been one.
Yeah.
You don't remember. And you know Thorne doesn't wear pants, so...
I think once, the dried rations are frying up on a rock or something, he'll go and kind of like unceremoniously kick Toddrick a little bit. Hey! You alive? Do you even remember?
Toddrick's gonna like sit up, just like, and he's gonna like take the pants off his head, and because it's happened so many times, he's just gonna throw them at Stewart. Be like, take your pants.
My pants. My little friend. Open your eyes. Get up. I gotta go
calling it that.
For God's sakes. I don't even know.
Where's
Stewart.
the water? I need water.
Everywhere. There's the stream.
There's a whole lake. There's a whole small lake right near you guys.
Is it drinkable?
Yeah. When you guys arrived the previous night, you saw that horses were drinking it, so it's at least drinkable for you in horse form.
No, Toddrick's just gonna kind of mosey towards the lake. Because he feels like a dried up good berry. He's like a good berry prune.
Mm-hmm.
Just proceed to just keep shoveling water into his face.
Yeah. Somehow in your drunken antics, you have braided your beard, which, it's a good look for you, but you see it when you bend over into the water. You're like, oh no. It's one of those nights.
And he's gonna take it and go, eh.
I think with the smell of the cooking food, Thorne, you probably awake to that. And is this your first experience with a hangover?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It feels like you are being assailed from the inside by invisible enemies.
Good description.
Yeah.
She'll awaken, like, just flailing with claws and spitting acid around randomly until she realizes that she's awake. And then she smells food. And then she realizes she's got food right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, you lean forward and bits of it fall off of you.
So she eats some of it because it's there. And then makes sure she goes through her mental inventory. She checks for the skull.
Mm-hmm.
No, she has to check for vital organs. So, and she ensures all of her vital organs and limbs are intact.
Mm-hmm. They are.
Then goes for all the decorations,
mm-hmm.
skull, whatnot.
Eye patch.
Then, yes, very important. John to Lee.
Yeah.
Then her weapons, armor.
Yep, it appears as though all of your belongings are still scattered around your person from wherever you place them, as you are consuming food in mass quantities and unrestricted amounts of alcohol because no one can see you inside the tent.
And she's probably eaten a lot of their winter stores.
Yeah.
Has no idea what she's done at all.
But they left, so you don't have to deal with the consequences, which is, it's lucky day, at least.
So she'll, she was taught to pick up after herself, so she will try to clean up. She will not do a good job, but she'll try.
Do you just, scoop up the food bits and just bring them over to Stewart because you see that he's doing what he calls cooking?
Well, there's, shelves and things, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, that's all gone. They cleaned up the entire tent. They took the tent with them. Yeah, you woke up in a field. The tent around you is gone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, then I'll just bring it all to Stewart.
Okay. Yeah, so Stewart, she comes over to you with, half-eaten ends of things. Like the butt of jerky that you hold in your hand, but then she gets distracted by the other one in her other hand. She just, dumps an armful of half-eaten food for you to cook.
Yeah, we'll know which ones are yours.
I think with the sound of the crackling fire and the fact that everyone's awake, that's what finally raises Auntie Nanny. And as a woman of your advanced years, you're no stranger to a hangover, and I'm sure you have some kind of concoction to whip up and fix for everybody.
She her eyes flutter open, and she... Daisy! Snaps her fingers, and her cast unseen servant to go around and just be like the mama hen of a hen party.
Yep.
And go around start getting cups of water for people, getting the fire going, and helping her out of bed as Nanny tries to sit up on the log that she's been hugging for so long. And she's just gonna huddle over oldly near the fire and warm up while just having this look on her face that looks like a cat dropped in a pond.
Yeah, she goes over and gets jugs of water, so you see jugs of water floating by, and then as you're sitting on the log and start to sway, you just see something come and prop you up in one direction, and then you begin to sway the other way, and it props you up the other direction. It's like the Tin Man.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, she even is just sitting there unmoving like this, and Daisy's just grabbing little bowls of water from the big bucket and just throwing it into her face.
Yeah.
But her face just stays stony, because that one did some nasty things. And she's probably thinking about those tarot cards too.
That's true. You did have an eventful night.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sitting there, and it takes a few minutes for water splashing and the realization of what's happening, the grumbling of Thorne, the incoherent babbles of Toddrick, and you realize that someone's cooking, and it's not you, and it just smells atrocious. And Stewart, give me a performance.
Oh, yeah, that'll go well.
Yeah. It smells like burnt hair is what's happening in the pan. And that's kind of what jars you out of hangover mode. And you're like, what is that? Who's burning a whole person?
It's on fire. No, it's on fire.
It's actually Stewart's arms. He's like, oh! He's trying to put his arms out. So that's what you sort of come back to. A few splashes of water in, and you see Stewart is just making a mess of everything. What do you guys do at that point?
Try to put the fire out.
Yeah. You successfully put the fire out. Yeah, there's enough water around. You can put the fire out easily.
Toddrick's immediately going to recognize the smell and go, "Oh yeah, someone's making giblets."
Yeah, your favorite. It's ready.
It smells less burnt this time.
Spreads.
The ones with acid already on them are Thorns.
I believe giblets is the colloquial term for whatever Stewart Gibbs had last night that he just cooks today.
I mean, it is now.
Yeah. And I think it's mostly just he puts all of the things from the night before in a pot and then like sprinkles whatever you were drinking last night on top and just sort of calls it the giblet stew. And that's what that is.
and it's Toddrick's favorite.
So so Nanny, you see pieces of jerky, you see salted meat, dried herbs, wine, mushrooms that he just found that happened to grow overnight, and it's all in one stew, and it's bubbling over and just causing the flames to just lick higher and higher as he's trying to manage this stew and not burn the entire forest down.
Nanny's just going to go, Daisy, feed me, and just sit there. Just not moving.
Yep.
Not giving two shits about this overflowing fire.
After a few seconds of Stewart just sort of freaking out, a bowl just floats over and begins spooning food into Auntie Nanny's mouth.
And like mage handing, maybe.
It's bad.
Well.
It's terrible.
Yeah. She's just mage handing like the wine.
Yeah.
Because you have to like come out of your alcohol super slowly.
Yeah, hair of the dog.
Just.
Yep.
And so she's sitting there not moving, but occasionally see like the little glass just like this.
Some trickles.
And the bowl kind of like so.
Do you just have like 7 cups around you at all times?
Yeah. I got a cup. This isn't a cup. This is a jar with flower petals in it for mini painting.
I feel like Thorne was taught to put out fires, so she would need it.
So you just dump a jug on it?
Yeah, and she would check to make sure that it was water, because she's done that before.
Yeah.
Someone taught her
to
check that it was water first.
Yeah. After several attempts of like ale, whiskey, oil, like, oh, that was the worst one.
Alchemist fire.
That was the least amount of fun. Yep.
So yes, someone took the time to teach her that.
Yeah.
So she checks that it's water first.
Yeah. So you take one of the jugs, you sort of dump it at the base of the fire, it just sort of sputters out. The overflowing cauldron starts to simmer back in and just kind of coagulate into the stew pot, which, as we know, that's Toddrick's favorite way to eat it. Coagulated giblets. So.
Yeah, anything for to get some joke about a stew pot.
He likes a thick mouthful.
You ever see that kid who is telling the story about the dream, and then you ever have that dream, and then you can do anything you want to do? That's what just happened live.
Someone pull his string. His batteries are running low.
Yeah.
It's been a rough week for Mr. Frags, and it's only Tuesday, so he's on fire today.
We're just getting into character, guys. I mean, our PCs are hungover, so we're just tired as hell.
They're hungover and shitty. So as you guys begin eating these just disgusting coagulated giblets, you guys look around and you notice that the tracks lead the direction you were going out of this place, like not the direction you guys came from, but the opposite end of the clearing. And none of you recall them leaving. Like, they must have left in such a manner as that you just didn't see them leave. And which is weird because Stewart was basically sober the majority of the night. It was, at least at a minimum, he was the most sober. And no one heard them break down tents or pack up, or leave this camp.
Is I gotta look at a thing. Is Irina around?
Oh yeah, you have NPCs. Irina and Donovich are there as well, eating disgusting giblets. They're trying to like choke them down and not be rude because you're there to save their lives.
Thorne will offer them some of her meat.
You'll see Irina take it hesitantly and then like turn it around and then chew on the not acid side, because you're terrifying and she doesn't want you to eat her. So,
but she's eating it.
Yeah.
So I'm satisfied.
Yeah. She's like, that thing you do when kids hand you plastic food, and you're like, yes, cheeseburgers are my favorite.
She was taught to make sure that people eat.
Yeah.
So, eat.
Yep. You see Father Donovich kind of walk over, and he like scoops at the coagulated giblets, and they just sort of like plop, back in as one lump off of the ladle, and he just sort of shakes his head and sits down and has a glass of wine.
No, I have meat.
Oh, you're giving him meat as well?
No. I have 30 days worth of meat.
Oh, yeah.
And no gold.
Right. But that's your private stash, so I wasn't sure if you were handing that out as well.
Yeah, to them.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, he does the glop, and then he sees you, and then takes one of your tasty meats, and then sits down and has a glass of wine, and he kind of looks over at everybody, and he says, that was a rare occasion. What happened last night?
I talked to a crazy old woman who told me my fortune.
You are.
No. I did not talk to a mirror. I talked to a real creepy old lady. She looks deader than me.
What? How did that go?
Apparently, she saw some portents in my future. And do I have the cards still, or did she just show me the cards and then take them back?
She showed you the cards and then took them back, but explained to you what they all mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
She was thief, myrmidon, hooded one, broken one, tempter. As she tries to recall everything. Apparently, there's a plan for me, set in by the fates.
Is it a good plan?
I don't know. I figured that at my age, my story might be coming to an end, but it seems that there's a sequel for this old book. She stretches out a little bit.
She extends.
Yeah. She's going to kind of go through and briefly just go through them, kind of for chat and the party's purpose. The thief, something ancient will help me better understand my enemy. Now, I don't know what that means, truly, but apparently what we seek lies at the crossroads of life and death, among the buried dead. Now, I don't know about you, but I've dealt with quite a few buried dead for now, and I would rather not dabble in this anymore if I have to. There's a den of wolves overlooking a mountain lake, something about a treasure belonging to Mother Night over there. So if we hear her howl and mountain lake, maybe there's treasure at the end. I don't know. Maybe they're trying to direct me somewhere. There's a faceless god doing some stuff at the end of a long and winding road. It's a bunch of side quests. I know. I don't know if we want to tackle the main quest and solve it. But you don't. It depends on how you want to progress. I got 5 of these things. Sorry. Don't know whether you want to, do some Dark Brotherhood, do some, it all depends, really. How's the lumpy food?
Toddrick's just going to be like, can you start over from the beginning?
Okay. So she starts to just...
So I appeared here in Barovia through the mist.
My parents raised me in but a wee young place.
When I was 7...
And I threw the can of peas over, and then everyone started throwing up.
You want to see me do the truffle shuffle?
I don't think anyone wants to see that.
No. No.
So do you re-explain everything again a second and third time?
I pretty much say bunch of tarot cards. One talks about why the seek lies at the crossroads of life and death among the buried dead. One is a creepy thing about wolves on a mountain lake. One's a faceless god. He awaits me at the end of a long and winding road deep in the mountains. My greatest ally will be a wizard. His mind is broken, but his spells are strong. Which this sounds like me already. Then I see a secret place, a vault of temptation, hidden behind a woman of great beauty. Definitely not me. The evil awaits atop his tower of pleasure.
Ooh.
And I imagine like there's like a lightning crack even in non-storm, and I look to Castle Ravenloft behind us.
Yeah.
Because according to this map, it's like right there.
It is like right there. Yep. It overlooks Barovia.
Yeah. It's like, I wonder where that could be.
Yeah, so you guys have all heard. She's basically gone through the, and I can post that for you guys so you can see it. Actually, it's in the chat. But yeah, so she goes through all of the cards. You guys have time to sort of process what these cards may mean. But your current task at hand, I believe, is to escort people back to Vallaki. So how you do that and when you leave, that's up to you guys.
I guess I'm going to waddle over to old Fat Donovich. Excuse me, priest. Which would be the best way to go to get to our new destination?
If we follow the Tessa River down past these pools, we'll hit the waterfall. There's a small hill we'll have to climb, and then we'll be at the bridge. This is the quickest route. Alternatively, we could go back to the crossroads and take the long path around. It's more of a gradual climb than a steep climb, but it could take a few extra hours.
Yeah, well, I guess that all depends on the status of our, she looks at Toddrick, engine.
And Toddrick looks over at Thorne.
Thorne looks at the next person. There isn't anybody else.
Never mind.
So you guys parked your wagon a little ways off. You didn't bring the entire wagon down here. You guys left a lot of your supplies in there. You guys can still see it from where you are. You can see it kind of like parked up in the distance, especially the light. It seems to be intact. There's nothing broken on it. And as far as from here, as far as you can see, none of your stuff is stolen off of it.
I hand the what do you call it? I hold the harness up for Toddrick. All right, strap up.
Why does that sound vaguely familiar? And
Did you ever find your pants?
yeah, he's gonna pull some pants from underneath his coat. Okay, I got an extra pair. And I guess he's gonna turn into a horse again, and immediately throw up because just the whole body changing into a horse thing just did not sit right.
Is it still that
sort of
beautiful?
Like, you shift and you like your limbs suck in and your body extends, and then as soon as you get there, you paw the ground. You're like, oh, and just giblets. Or giblets come out.
Yeah. At first, he looks like BoJack Horseman, and then just kind of like morphs into his own body.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still that creation that you posted a picture of in the chat?
Yeah,
it's
still that thing, but bigger, but an actual full size horse. And so and then I'm just gonna kind of look at everyone else and go, let's go.
All right, I'm helping into the cart.
Yeah.
Daisy, help pull.
So Daisy kind of like, well, no one sees anything. You see like grass depressions, and I guess Toddrick, you would feel a presence near you, so you kind of like nicker, or wicker, or wicked, move your feet around, and you feel like a ghostly presence near you, as something else begins to like sort of strap the bridle onto you. And prepare to take off. I think Father Donovich and a train. Father Donovich and Irina all start to like climb into the back of the cart with Auntie Nanny, And they just kind of like look half expectantly towards Horse Stewart, or Horse Toddrick rather, and expect you to pull everybody. Stewart, Gibbs, and Thorne, what do you guys do?
Well, I think at this point she's getting sort of familiar with the concept of the unseen servant, but she still makes very low, quiet, growling noises when it gets close to her.
Yeah.
She's like, well, there's lots of bad stuff. We should get them to the city fast and kill anything that tries to stop us.
Enjoy your stay.
Should I pull or run?
Well, I say that we kind of have we can set up for a decent traveling group upon appearance. I mean, we have Father Donovich here and Irina, who are definitely our passengers. Me, I can be the old woman with old hands. The horse, of course. And it looks like you two, I point to Stewart and our dragon friend. And I don't know why I just suddenly forgot her character's name.
Thorne.
Thorne, yeah, that's right. It's in the chat. And you two can be our bodyguard escorts. We have our alibi. The scene is set.
Okay. And she'll look at the horse and be like, "You okay pulling?"
Just don't walk behind him. He's probably not done leaving puddles.
No, she's asking if he wants help.
No, he's just gonna be like, and you're gonna assume that means I'm fine.
Horse noises is what.
Yeah.
I imagine Thorne understands this and probably speaks back and
Yeah.
Just,
You just snort derisively and just pats you. Okay. So Thorne, do you help pull or do you just sort of circle the cart? What do you do?
if you need help, tell me. And then she'll pull out her great axe.
Did you say call me?
No, tell me.
Oh, they said if you need help, call me.
She'll pull out her great axe. She will make herself look big, make sure all of her armor is nice and spiky.
Mm-hmm.
Get her into her aggressive power stance with the axe. And then she will patrol as they go around the cart.
Fantastic.
Hoping the mere sight of her will be enough.
It's enough to deter people. Stewart, what about you?
He'll probably just take up one side of the cart opposite Thorne and make sure to steer clear of anything else Toddrick leaves behind.
Okay. Are you guys going following the river, or are you guys going back to the crossroads, taking a slightly longer but more gradual hill route?
I vote river.
My recommendation was as fast as possible.
So you know that if you go the river, based on what Father Donovich says, if you go the river, it's a steep hill, so likely you'll all have to get out and push. But if you go back, it's slightly longer, like maybe an hour longer, but it's a more gradual hill, and Toddrick can pull the entire way. So it's entirely up to you guys. You can lose an hour.
Well, also, though, we get attacked on a steep hill, a hard fight. Where are the bad guys? Steep hill or on the road?
Both Irina and Donovich look at you, confused. There aren't. I don't know where the bad guys are. I think that's part of the point. They're bad guys. They're hiding. They could be anywhere.
She will nod as if this is very wise. and then she will look at someone else, see what they say about it.
I think we're a handful of badasses, really. I ain't scared. Have you seen what we've killed recently? Who's gonna mess with us? Look at us.
Okay, well, then let's go the steep way, but when we get to the steep part, we just get past it really fast. Push super hard.
Okay.
So we don't get stuck there. Don't
Yeah.
want to get stuck there.
So save lots of carrots for Toddrick for when we get there, so he's nice and fueled.
Right.
So you can just book it.
It's a solid plan. Solid
Mm-hmm.
plan. So
Okay.
you guys all get in your various positions in and out of the cart. Toddrick, roll me an athletics check as a horse. Let's see how quickly you pull this cart. Because as we all know, a horse is a horse, of course, of course.
Mm-hmm.
It's under Toddrick's Animals. And then horse.
Yeah, a horse. Yep, I see that. And you wanted an athletics check?
Yep. Or
Riding
strength,
horse.
whatever is on there.
Riding horses have a strength of 16.
Draft horses have a strength of 18.
Oh.
But Toddrick rolls badly. Okay.
Toddrick is a drunk horse.
Toddrick is a drunk horse. And so it's a slightly different canter for him. If you could see a horse stumble, you would see that, except he's now attached to the bridle and can only stumble so far as the equipment will let him shift left and right. But it's a slow start. And this pathway through the river is muddy, and he begins just slowly cantering forward, just sort of like dragging it and lurches. And it's a very just like unpleasant ride for a while. Until you guys slowly begin to see the you begin to see the land around you rises up past the trees, and you begin to see like hills and cliff faces as you are going. You guys get all the way to the base of the river, and it looks very nice. As you guys follow the river to the base of this, it opens out into a mouth of a canyon. At the far end of the canyon, there is a massive waterfall that spills into a pool. Clouds of cold mist kind of billow forth, and everything takes on like prismatic glows as what's left of the little bit of sun that makes its way through the trees from the ever setting or ever rising sun in Barovia sort of hits this mist, and you guys can see all these prismatic hues. And apart from the bright, vibrant colors of last night, this is probably the most beautiful thing you've seen. But then that quickly goes away as you realize that 1,000 feet above you is a stone bridge, and to your left is the hill you must now climb to get up to and over that bridge. So how would you guys like to push this cart up this hill?
Well, I'm gonna start with like a montage of stretching.
Mm-hmm. Lots of squats, some lunges. Yep. A lot of cool poses. A lot of leaning on the cart and just making noises, but not actually pushing it at all for now. Okay.
Montage.
Even Rocky had a montage.
In the background of every scene is Stewart, like, just grumbling. And it's a little steeper, he says. It'll be a little harder. We'll have to work together, he says. Look at this fucking hill. God's sakes.
And as you guys are like grumbling about it, I think like probably Auntie Nanny and Irina and Donovan are still in the back of the cart, just sort of watching you expectantly, not actually offering to help out yet.
Stacy's here to help.
Yes, she's got it. She can push 20 pounds.
Oh, she can push 20 pounds.
After a while, Donovich kind of gets out and he's like, yes, the less we have in the cart, it will be easier to push. And he sort of gets out and like, he does that thing where he puts his hands on the back of the cart, but you know full well that he's not going to be actually putting effort into it.
Todd. No.
Horsrick, what are you doing?
I'm a horse, Morty. No, I was gonna say before you said that he got out that Toddrick was just gonna like stop, like turn his head as far as he can, come back, go and just buck up and to try to kick him out of the cart.
People out, yeah.
Dump all the people out of the cart.
Yep. Irina sort of like slides as she's getting out, and Auntie Nanny takes an unceremonious exit from the cart.
Yeah, she's gonna like tumble backwards, skirts flying bloomers, spot of bloomers in the air, and land in a flump.
In a heap.
Yes.
Which is not unusual that she just exists in a heap sometimes. So
yeah,
she looks okay. So for everyone that's pushing, I'm going to need an athletics check to see how quickly you guys get this up the hill.
I'll help. I'm helping.
That's helping. That's helping too. Sharing is caring. Someone roll a 6 or a 9, please. That'd be great.
Can I?
Let's get it straight. Let's get a straight.
Can I roll for a second win now that I don't have anybody in my cart?
You can re-roll, Horsrick.
Oh.
Because that was your previous strength from the attempt to start. There we go. Horsrick rolls a 20, and 1 for Thorne.
Okay. Come on.
Hey!
Wow. So, with the power of Thorne and Horsrick, you guys easily get up this. There's no, like, slippage. You guys, it takes you a while. It takes you, like, a good 30, 45 minutes to go just up this sheer face. But you guys do get it up there. And your perspective changes. You guys see this massive stone bridge set in front of you. It arcs across this wide chasm. You see that the bridge has like mold encrusted lichen up on the sides of this thing. On the way that the walls form of the bridge, there are several like modeled gargoyles in different various terrifying poses. Their frowns or their excited faces or their howls are all weather worn. You see a few pieces of the rock is chipped off. And below you just see what was beautiful misty pools is now just a treacherous death drop from way up here. But it looks like the path ahead of you is clear across this bridge. Do you guys proceed?
Well, I'm attributing my immense success to the montage.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're still humming a montage song as it finishes. That's what helped.
Yeah.
I like to imagine that your crit is just you slapping Toddrick with the flat of your axe on the rump, and he just.
No, because she's all about looking as badass as possible.
She's like mumbling the song.
Yeah, but she's like near single-handedly pushing this thing up.
Barovia, fuck yeah. Pushing the cart.
Need a montage, yeah.
So you guys proceed across this bridge?
Yeah, I'll proceed walking with the cart. I want to be a little more... And I'm going to cast Arcane Armor.
Sure.
Just because...
On the horse?
Nope.
No, not on the horse.
Not on the horse. The horse can go
take with the horse.
I don't think anyone gets back in the cart. They're all kind of... Now they're out and they got their rest. Everyone sort of walks along with the cart. So Toddrick, you're pulling an empty cart. But you guys cross over the bridge. You notice that the bridge is, once you start crossing it, it's slick with moisture from the falls, but it's sturdy enough for you guys to walk across. There's no holes in the bridge. And you guys sort of pass along warily, just expecting anything to happen. And much to your chagrin, nothing in fact happens. You guys make it across the bridge entirely with ease. It's probably the easiest part of your journey so far, just crossing a simple bridge.
Is it this bridge right here? I'm sorry.
It is
this one.
It is this bridge right here. Pew.
Am I not seeing it? Oh, whoa. Okay, yeah, I was.
Yeah, so that's the bridge you guys cross. You cross that bridge and you make it, you see that there's these canyons, not canyons, but like cliffs and like small hills just sort of rising all around you. And it appears as though you're kind of going into like this much more mountainous terrain, which stands to reason as Castle Barovia or Castle Ravenloft sits on a cliff face. But you guys follow the beaten trail until such time as you come across these massive gates. And this is the first time you've seen these massive gates, and they are impressive and terrifying. You see these massive stone gates before you that have the well-worn carved visage of what you assume to be a human hero outside of these gates. These massive wooden doors on these gates. They are ajar, and there appears to be no guards preventing you from accessing these gates whatsoever.
And the heads are all knocked off.
The heads are knocked off. Yeah. Yeah, so guys, as you pass through the cliff faces here, you see that through these doors, just sort of fog spills out from the forest beyond, and you guys kind of lose sight of the road once you can see through the doors, and you just see these stone buttresses on either side of you guys, just sort of jutting out. You're kind of used to this now, as they've been jutting up and out and changing direction and sloping and rising here. These huge stone doors with these huge wooden doors with iron bands are set into the stonework, and everything here is in this weird, like, misty, like, morning dew covers pretty much everything. Yeah, and the two heads of these things are now lying in the grass below.
I want to go check out the head and make sure that it's a humanish head. Mm-hmm. No, like, pointy teeth on it or creepy shit like that.
Sure. Yeah, so as you walk over, does anyone else go with Auntie Nanny?
Yeah, Thorne would be interested in the heads.
Okay. So as you two kind of walk over there, the closer you get to the gate, the first thing you notice is as the gate slowly grind open as you approach towards them.
I want to back up to see if they close.
Yeah, I was just going to...
Yeah, if you back up towards the cart, you'll see the gate sort of and groan and closed.
Back and forth real quick to see if it goes like this.
It doesn't go fast. It always goes slow.
Shit.
There's like a little garage door sensor up there.
Yeah.
Or like a really, like, pissed off guy up on the top of the crank. Like, make up your mind, dumb old lady.
It's a goblin or something.
Yeah. It's a vampire spawn who's just mad about his life.
Yeah, you got one job, buddy. Oh yeah, so I go to examine the head, but I kind of duck behind it as well.
Sure.
So that
yeah, so you get to the head of this statue, and it stands like twice your height, and it's laying down like on the side of its face. And as far as you can tell, it's a little weather beaten. Now that you're like up close to it, you see that a lot of like the more extraneous features have been like broken off, like the tip of the nose, the tip of the ears have been broken off. But as far as you can tell, this is just the stern face of a man, jaw set, very like noble features. But this just looks like your average human male, as far as you can tell. There's no real facial feature, just a stern look of just consternation.
and it's all solid stone.
It is all solid stone, yes.
Okay. I want to eyeball the armor and see if I can maybe, because I've read through that Barovia book, and maybe I can place to say, okay, are these like creepy vampire armor? Is this like I'm going to save myself from the humans armor?
Sure. Roll me. Roll me perception or history.
I will use. They're both the same, but I think Nanny will like to do history.
Sure.
I don't know anything about this armor except that it's big.
It is big armor. It is big stone armor. The one thing you notice about this, which doesn't really sell you either way, on the armor you do see like it's hidden behind a hand and the pommel of the sword, but you're fairly certain that you see the Ravenloft symbol.
Okay. These are bad guy statues.
So this could have been, so based on your knowledge of history, these could be the uniforms of Strahd pre whatever the hell happened to him, like when he conquered Barovia, or post.
True.
You're not sure which one, but you know it bears that symbol, so this is not before he conquered. This is definitely after he conquered the land.
Thorne, I might need your expertise on this decapitated head, since you're very good at decapitating heads. Can you see if maybe this was maybe knocked off or chopped off, or maybe just an accident, or maybe something purposely removed the stone head from the stone body?
Yeah, I feel like that's some forensic knowledge that she would have.
Sure. If you want to roll me investigation, you can do so.
Oh, goody.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So you notice two things. I'll leave the interpretations up to Thorne to explain. One of the heads has a clean cut. The other head has a craggy cut. Whatever Thorne makes that in her head, that's what she believes.
This is bound to be good.
Tell me, Thorne. Tell me what you know.
This guy.
Mm-hmm.
It went like this.
Oh, like this.
Like this.
Oh.
She'll take out one of her hand axes. And she'll just squish it through the air as fast as she can.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Oh.
she'll find there like small stones laying around. Like,
of course.
so she'll put some stones up. She'll line one of them up, and she'll take the hand axe. She'll find one that she thinks she can, maybe has a crack in it already, and she'll take the hand axe and she will hit the crack in the stone and try to break it.
Oh dear.
And you want me to roll for that, or?
Oh, no, you can do that. That's a simple enough task. Yeah, now you're trying to sever this thing cleanly across? Yeah. Yep. You can do that.
And then she's going to pick up, it's easier to explain, she's going to pick up like a log or something.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to take the hand axe, and then she's going to kind of chop, and then and then chop.
Oh.
The whole time Auntie Nanny is just watching this, trying to interpret this this interpretive dance of wood chopping and stone cutting.
So she points at one of them and then does the thing with the rock.
Yep.
Points at the other one and then does the thing with the.
So you're saying that one was a clean cut, and one was a bit more violently removed.
Yeah, and fast, slow.
Okay. And you know what, Thorne? The next time we come across something dangerous, you can show us on the dangerous thing exactly how these heads were removed. Okay?
Yeah.
She starts walking back to the party. Every tool has a purpose. You just have to use it right.
Thrower of meat.
Yeah. Here you go. Have a sweet.
But now she's like cracking her knuckles, and she's like, yeah.
Now she's pacing with the battle axe ready to go. So yeah, you have the knowledge that these were shorn off in different manners. You're not really sure ultimately how it happened, but that it happened, and they are slightly different. Stewart, what are you doing while they are examining the heads of these fallen statues?
Probably realizing he doesn't care about any of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He just wants to get out of this stupid place.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing that, Toddrick is a horse and he just pulled that damn cart up this thing, he's probably watering Toddrick.
Toddrick, how do you feel about that?
Talking to him like, I don't know about this place. These people think these fucking mountains are little hills and it's going to take a little longer. I'm exhausted. You got to be exhausted. You're a fucking horse, so wait here.
Is this one of the few times where you talk and Toddrick has no choice but to listen?
Yeah.
So he turns into a horse?
He takes advantage.
Yeah.
Toddrick's just going to keep taking the water, just... He's like kind of trying to talk, and then he's just gonna keep try to get Stewart to scratch him behind his ears.
Yeah, he shrugs in only the way a horse can shrug.
And Stewart probably inadvertently, because it's an animal, finds himself scratching his friend behind the ear. Mm-hmm. It's not weird in any way.
Yeah, he's got a brush out of somewhere. You're not really sure where the brush came from, but you have one. Maybe you just have a brush because you know that Toddrick can turn into animals sometimes.
No, I mean, It's not weird. It's not weird.
Yeah.
It's a friend thing.
It's only weird if you make it weird. And I'm not making it weird. So you guys, so Auntie Nanny and Thorne, you would return to see Stewart just talking and brushing and like feeding Stewart, feeding Toddrick, like out of his hand as he's brushing. He's like, I don't know about the hill and how there's fog everywhere, and I don't. The door just opens and the door just closes. It's ridiculous. How do you guys respond to whatever you walk back to, whatever intimate moment you're intruding upon?
I think Thorne will just make uncomfortably long eye contact with each and every person.
Not sure how to proceed.
I imagine Irina and Father, what's his name, are just like,
Yeah, they're actually behind the cart, just watching you the whole time, just confused as what's happening. Like, does he know that he's a person? It's not a real horse. I don't know. Auntie Nanny, how do you respond to the horse situation?
She's going to probably just completely ignore it altogether because it's okay. So we've done some research and we know mostly nothing, but apparently these heads of these statues might not have just fallen off naturally. They might have been removed forcefully, and we need to go through these gates anyway. So, who's ready to continue the quest?
Toddrick's just going to be like, hang his head.
That's the spirit.
Now, are you hanging your head because you're not excited to finish the quest, or because you wanted more pets?
No, both.
Okay. So, Stewart, you are approached by everyone. You hear, and you realize that now is no longer an appropriate time to pet and scratch your friend. How do you proceed?
he'll probably fix his clothes, like put away the brush and fix his clothes and kind of realize what's going on. I don't care about the statues. Let's just go before it gets dark, because we have to find that traveling group before it gets dark. That was good.
That's true, and you guys are you do have a ways to go. And yeah, Father Donovich looks to you guys and says, I don't know that we'll make it before dark, but we'll make it close after, if anything else. From here, it's about a half a day to Vallaki. We might hit the woods by nightfall. I don't think there's anything very, very strange in the old Svalich woods there, but I have heard reports of wolves, so you'd best be on your guard for that.
For wolves?
Yes, no, actual wolves.
Thorne grins. Because now she has a goal.
To behead wolves, yeah. This is your new tactic. Behead all the things until Auntie Nanny tells you otherwise. So you guys reassemble in your traveling group scenario. Does anyone get back in the cart?
I will not.
Okay. So no one gets back in the cart. So Toddrick, you have an easy time pulling. You guys make it to the gate, and again, the gate groans open. And you guys can see the forest before you. That low mist just hangs kind of in the air. And as you guys pass through the gates, you'll notice that they groan closed behind you. Weirdest thing.
I fucking hate this place.
Yeah. And you guys pass through. You guys pass into the mountain range. Let me see if I can just... There we go. Let's move you guys over there. You guys pass through the doors, through the ridges, through the high stone buttresses, into this little copse of trees. As you guys break the copse of trees, you see that this winding road continues with like high stone at varying intervals above you. And I think, Thorne, you're the first one to notice it, because you were concerned with it before and didn't understand its purpose, and then didn't care about its purpose. But you see the fan house. Way in the distance, you see a fan house.
I put something in my note. Oh, I put that stupid house with the fan on it. They said it makes bread. They said avoided at all costs. I don't know what that means, but that's what it said.
I don't have any gold. I spent it on food, so I don't have anything to cost.
That sounds like good advice, but it's coming from Thorne. What do we do?
No! Somebody told me. Somebody told me. The people in the camp.
I like those people.
The people they gave me.
Yeah.
Gave me all the boobs.
Yeah, I like those people too. Maybe we should
They told me don't go near the fan house. Don't go to the fan house. Even though they have bread, don't go there.
That is what they told you.
It is now.
Yeah. Even if they have bread, don't go there. That's exactly how Thorne heard it.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
Because she really wants bread now.
Yeah.
How's she going to make a sandwich?
Let's put it to a vote. Does anyone want to go to the fan house?
I don't recall any of my tarot cards talking about a fan house. I look over Thorne. No, fan house. So I'm fine with skirting this, and we gotta get this girl where she needs to go. We could always come back later.
Sure, you can.
Yeah. No.
Assuming it's still there, everything disappears. Creepy ghost house disappears. Creepy people we just spend time with disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, maybe we'll disappear and end up back home.
God's willing.
Yeah. Let's just keep going. We got to get her there. And we got to follow your crazy visions. And then we got to deal with the guy who's killing everybody. My best friend's a horse.
It's been a long day for you, Gibbs.
Already.
It's been a long day.
Thorne will just pat you on the shoulder reassuringly.
It's okay, I've had horse friends too.
And just this nightmare creature, like, it's okay, dude.
Yeah. Covered in bones with a fucking, eye patch.
And now this is happening.
Some people can't help being horses. It happens.
He can help it. He knows what he did.
He knows what he's done.
That's what he's done.
So this conversation happens as you guys are progressing through the low stone buttresses. You guys get closer and closer to the fan house until you go around a bend and you see that there's actually a path up to the fan house. So you plan to avoid that. You see this path going up here. It looks like a relatively decrepit windmill. The fabric that is usually ensconced around the different lattice work of the fan blades is all torn off and ripped. You see that there's a few patchworky holes in the actual stonework of the mill house itself. But you guys have decided to avoid this. You can see this whole thing. You don't see anyone actively around it. You do see a few crows circling over the top of it. But you guys have seen a lot of crows recently. So you guys sort of get this chill as you walk by, avoiding this place, despite the allure of bread. And as you pass by, the road bends and twists and switches back on itself until you guys are basically abutting the forest. Now, on your right-hand side, there are sheer cliff faces, and you have the forest. If you're feeling confident, you can cut through the forest. Father Donovich, once you guys get up to the forest, he says, just on the other side of these woods is the town of Vallaki. As I said, I believe there have been reports of wolves in these forests. The road will wind us around, and we'll make it to the village after nightfall, unless you'd like to cut through.
After all we fought, I think that a horse will be, a wolf will be one of the least of our worries.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Wherever Toddy's leading, I'm following.
I mean, Toddrick can become a wolf, I'm sure, so... And he can talk to them.
Thorne is just gonna flex and make sure everyone can see how big her muscles are.
Yeah, you're just showing the wolves in case.
Yeah.
So is that you guys are going to attempt to find a shortcut? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. Let's make it interesting.
Great, like, survivalists.
We dodged the windmills, so we got to give Chat the forest.
Yeah, I've heard that you guys are at a minimum great survivalists.
Word of our community's acclaim spreads.
We made it through Death House.
You did make it through Death House.
I'm kind of a horse.
We just got raided from Encounter Roleplay. Thank you very much,
Hey.
guys. Hey, how's it going? Guys, if you're from Encounter Roleplay, come hang out. We're having a good time. I'm going to slowly kill my characters with wolves. So yeah, you guys begin to avoid the beaten path, the trail that you have been on for the past several days, or the past 2 days. Who's leading you guys through this this forest?
Ooh.
Me, because I'm a fucking horse.
Roll
I will
me
cast
survival.
light on his bridle. Can I cast light on his bridle?
You may cast
Brittle?
light wherever you want to cast it, my friend.
Ooh. I'll put like a little pole with a carrot hanging off of it
Yep.
on his head. And glowy carrot.
You can't. I can't express this, but
Word of our community's acclaim spreads.
patronized.
If a horse could give you the finger, it would.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
Wait,
cast. Go ahead.
Sorry. What time of day is it?
It's hard to tell. The sun never really rises fully or sets fully, except for nighttime. So it's this weird gray zone. However, based on what Father Donovich has recently told you, that you guys are probably approaching nightfall. Although he believes that the only thing that has been assailing Vallaki recently are wolves, as there have been reports of wolf hunters.
Oh, yeah. Just I don't have dark vision, so
Right.
I was just wondering if that was relevant. Okay, so I will stick like in the vicinity of the horse because the horse has the light.
Okay, yeah. So there's some kind of... Do you cast it on the bridle, or do you actually make a carrot and stick situation?
I'll cast it on like his mane.
Okay.
So he can feel glorious.
Yeah, so he's a horse of a different color.
Like it shimmers.
Sure. So, Horse Rick,
Time.
if you're
Time.
leading the party, I need you to roll me a survival check.
Okay, and that's gonna be.
That's a wisdom if you don't have survival.
Yeah. Nope. I don't.
How bad is that? Real good. Good. Get some stuff.
That's what you get for letting a horse lead you through the jungle.
Yeah. I'm
He's just
sure-
he's so enamored now that he's like the Fabio of horses. Doing like suave commercials.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys will be just fine. No worries there. Yeah, good stuff. So you guys lead off the beaten path and into the dense forest. As you guys sort of make your way through the underbrush, you see that these trees, they sort of, like their canopy sort of knits together in these dark, brittle tendrils of tree. And if it was dark before, now it's like just the darkness is encroaching upon you. You can't even see the barely setting sun or barely rising sun from where you are, and just darkness just sort of closes in around you. It's almost as if the light coming off of the mane of Horserick doesn't extend more than 10 or so feet. You guys can barely see, like the trees are so packed densely around you that you have to sort of angle and reposition the cart as it like jams up on roots. It seems as though Toddrick, confident in his abilities as a horseman, to lead you through a forest is less than stellar.
I prefer man horse.
Man horse, a Horstdorf. You guys begin making your way through the forest. You lose sight of the road behind you, and this wet mist surrounds your boots and your hooves as you begin to make your way through the forest. Every once in a while, Father Donovich kind of looks around, and you get the feeling he's more or less guessing, and he sort of leans towards Toddrick and points you in a direction. Whether you follow it is up to you. As you guys proceed, untriumphantly through this forest. The strangest thing you notice around you is that there are no noises. There is no animal sounds in this forest, and the deeper into it you go, the more dense this mist fog gets around your boots. And as you guys have been traveling for like maybe an hour into this forest, you hear, all of you hear, oh. And then you hear an echo in the distance, coming from multiple directions, as if wolves are returning the call. You feel eyes on you, and you feel as if you are being stalked through the woods. What do you guys do?
Well, Thorne will not attack first.
Mm-hmm.
However, she kind of wants a wolf pelt cape because, I mean, you know, she's basically trying to look like the cover of a 1970s heavy metal magazine. Wolf is sort of a necessary aspect of this.
Mm-hmm.
So her acquisition of a wolf pelt is necessary, but it can only be in self-defense.
That's true. Yeah.
She's really waiting to defend herself. Anytime now.
Horserick, how do you feel about your current life situation?
Horserick is no longer Horserick.
Okay.
And he's going to come on out of that horse form and just say, nope, not going to fight a wolf as a horse.
You sure?
Yeah. I don't feel comfortable.
They have powerful kicks, I hear.
Yes, they do. But
and temporary hit points.
Yeah, nope, not gonna do it.
So you just sort of like your bones crack as you sort of, you know, become a dwarf again. The bridle slips off of you, and your hair, actually, your beard continues to glow a majestic, bright light as you are out in front of the party.
When he sees the glow, he's gonna go, "Oh, that's where it comes from."
Now you know where your mane comes from. It's not your actual head hair. Stewart, you see your friend hear these howls and then immediately shift, terrified, back into dwarf form. What are you doing?
No, good plan. I like that. There's absolutely no way they're still hungry after hearing that. God's sakes, Toddrick.
Awful. Nanny, you've cast light. What are you doing? How are you preparing for whatever you think is coming?
I imagine she hears the howls, turns around, sees like the 30 pounds of raw meat in the back of the wagon, and goes, "You know, maybe it wasn't a good idea to take a giant wagon full of raw meat through a wolf-infested woods." And she is going to actually mage hand one of the slabs of meat kind of out in front of the party a bit, kind of like a lure. Mayhaps entice a wolf to poke its head out and get that head shot and or stabbed and or maybe just see what kind of wolves we're dealing with.
Sure. So you want to mage hand some raw meat.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me...
I mage the meat.
Roll me deception.
Oh. I'm going to lie to these wolves with my magic meat. 18.
Okay. So how are you just waving, are you just mage handing meat around as you guys proceed further and further?
Or I'm having Daisy carry it. That's it.
Perfect.
She's going to, maybe like we like Lady Gaga Daisy up and cover her with the meat and have her be like the target dummy.
Yeah, so you just have her in 20 pounds of meat weaving through trees.
Maybe 1 pound, because I don't want to take off Thorne that much by wasting all of her meat.
That's true. So yeah, you have a few slabs of meat.
All that meat she bought was preserved and dried.
Yeah, it's all dried meat. Yeah. Either way, meat is meat.
Mm-hmm.
But you've hung pieces of meat off of your invisible servant, and she begins weaving through trees. Thorne, you are momentarily distracted from your wolf quest as you see floating meat just weaving through the forest in the glow of Toddrick's amazing beard.
She will look to Nanny.
Hey, it's a jerky ghost. We can lure the wolves out with it.
She'll just take a second to
enjoy your
process
stay.
a little. And then she'll just get this kind of a grin. And she gets her great axe out and she's ready to defend herself.
To defend. Perfect.
Hey, it has to come at her.
That's true. That's now a quote. Thanks, Ren.
No. Toddrick told me only the most desperate wolves will attack people. They gotta be hungry. If you feed them, it might not happen. But everything in this place is terrible, so I'm willing to bet that's out the window.
Solid.
Yeah, wolves also hold grudges, so has anybody done wrong by a wolf recently?
Is that a real thing?
I mean, it's possible.
Is this like elephants are afraid of mice thing?
Hey, I'm just saying, if anybody's done wrong by any wolf in their life, now would be a good time to get it off your chest and come clean.
Oh, I don't have the hold grudges spell. This book has hold person.
As you guys discuss back and forth about holding or not holding things, you hear another, oh! This one seems like it's getting closer to you.
I wield my doom broom.
That's right, I forgot you named it the Doom Broom. So you have broom bristle out. Stewart, you have the sword stick. Thorne, you have your battle axe ready to go to defend yourself. Toddrick, what are you doing?
Do I recognize this howl at all? Is this a battle cry?
Roll me nature. You notice that this is not a normal wolf. This doesn't sound like your normal wolf cry. This doesn't seem like, it doesn't seem like it's coming from your normal run-of-the-mill, like, cave wolf. You're muted.
Sure am. Does it sound bigger? I guess that what you would have told me then.
So it doesn't sound bigger or smaller. Like the timbre of the wolf howl is entirely different. Like this sounds like a different breed of wolf you're unfamiliar with.
Does it maybe spark a memory of that furry piece of flesh we found a few episodes back?
It could if you knew more about wolves or saw it in front of you, perhaps. You just know that what you found was a different kind of wolf. The fur you found was also a different kind of wolf. Those are the only commonalities, is that these both sound and that fur looked different.
Okay. I couldn't remember if I showed it to Toddrick or not.
You did. But I think you're the one that looked in and saw transfiguration magic on it.
Okay.
But these wolf howls seem to be coming from multiple directions. Toddrick, with your 11, you notice that there are two distinct calls. One is strange. The other two, now that you can hear them better, sound like average wolf calls. So there's something else and at least two other wolves that are approaching you. As you guys are sort of tense and preparing yourselves, you hear the crack of a stick. What do you guys do?
I will immediately look in that direction. Perception check?
Sure. Yep. Perfect.
Jeez.
So you have your battle axe out. You have your eyes trained. You're using whatever light you can see from Toddrick's epic beard, and you hear this crunch of a noise, and you wheel on it, expecting to bring your axe down on a wolf. And what you see is something arched back, walking on two legs, two long paws out in front of it, drool dripping from its gaping maw as this thing just sort of walks in this weird gangly maneuver towards you, and just steps into the light of Toddrick's beard, arcs its neck up, and ow! And the rest of you see loping out of the woods two more wolves, actual wolves, as this thing sort of squats down on its haunches as if to approach. Roll for initiative.
Hey.
I fucking told you everything here is terrible.
Where's our tokens?
We don't have tokens. We'll just bear in mind this bitch.
Oh no! Oh, I just meant for getting into the turn order, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll just add him in manually. It's not a big deal. So we have Nanny.
I will be growling right back.
You'll be growling right back. Nanny has a 7.
Lizardy sort of way.
We have Toddy has a 7. Stewart Gibbs.
Nailed it.
Gibbs nailed it. We have a Thorne. Thorne with a 13. And let's see what happens here. We got there's a new initiative button on the newly updated business. Cool. Wolf has a 9. Roll20 had an update, and they did some stuff and some things.
Yeah, they added under your spells or whatever, it highlights what type of spells those, vocation, or like if you need materials or if you need to.
Well, that's convenient. Stewart Gibbs, you see this human-sized, probably 6-foot-tall wolf creature lowering itself down on its haunches, preparing to spring forth and attack. You see 2 more are loping out of the woods, sort of slowly coming into frame. What do you want to
do? He's probably going to sidle up next to Toddrick.
Yep.
They work pretty well as a team.
Sure.
And use his action to do a thing he hasn't really done.
Okay.
Lift a stick or a rock or something from behind this bipedal wolf.
Enjoy your stay.
And, cast that spell that didn't fucking happen because apparently something is broken.
Okay.
There we are.
Catapult is the spell?
Catapult is the spell.
What? Okay. You're lifting a rock out of the ground? Like just like
yes, something behind it, like
sure.
to get it in the rear.
Okay, so you're like throwing it towards yourself.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Throw another wolf.
So are you throwing it at the wolf or are you throwing it at the werewolf?
The werewolf.
Okay. Let's see here. So a dexterity saving throw. Let's see what happens. 12.
Balls.
So this werewolf takes half damage, or is it no damage? No damage on a save. Okay. So yeah, you sort of like you lift this rock up, roots sort of bend and snap under the woods, and you launch this rock towards you guys. And like as you do, this wolf lowers itself down and leaps forward, and that rock would have smashed right where it was had it not leaped. And this thing is barreling down towards the 2 of you. As that rock just sort of hits the ground. I believe you have a bonus action still?
Nothing I can do with that, but if something comes within range, I'd like to make a reactionary attack.
Okay, yeah, so this wolf leaps forward towards you, and it's coming into range. You have an opportunity attack on this thing.
Well, let's go with that one then.
That hits. Give me some damage. 8 damage. Okay, yeah, so you slash out with your sword stick, and you see it like just sort of cleaves open the chest of this thing as it bears down on you. And as it does, you just see its jaws like open. You can see the saliva is dripping from its jowls, and this thing launches its teeth right towards you. And misses. It's thrown off by the slash in the chest. It's sort of, but it hits you and just sort of slides off the side because you have your pole arm. But it quickly gets up and just rakes its claws towards you. Does a 16 hit you?
No.
Okay, so just like and it meets your chainmail shirt.
Any explanations here, Toddy?
I'm just glad I didn't see you throw that rock or it'd be really mad.
So Gibbs went, werewolf went. Thorne, you see this thing is now attacking your friend. You see 2 more wolves are coming out of the clearing, just sort of like looking at you guys. What do you do?
She's gonna get a great big grin on her face. And I don't know, I imagine, because, lizards have that kind of long mouth, that when she gets this grin, it's like most of her face.
A great smile.
Gets all that acid is gonna start to dribble because we're gonna have us a little bit of a rage.
Almost as if she's like salivating.
Yeah, she's getting all worked up.
I like it. I dig it.
She's gonna just tear right at this werewolf because if a wolf pelt looks badass, a werewolf pelt is gonna look even better.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So, she's gonna throw herself at this guy with the great axe.
Okay. A 15 will hit the werewolf, I believe. Let me double check. I might be incredibly wrong. A 15 does hit the werewolf.
Okay, and it can do that.
The push. It's a DC strength saving throw. Let's see what happens here. Does not resist, so you push it 5 feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I can... so was it attacking someone? Was it like... who's it facing?
It's facing Stewart.
It was facing Stewart. What's like right around them?
So it's Toddrick, Stewart, the werewolf, you, in a line, essentially.
In a line. Okay. So I'm gonna.
You could approach from a different angle if you want to push it away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push him away from whoever he's closest to, and then I can take a 5-foot step into that space.
Yeah, so it's like Toddrick, Stewart, the wolf. You come up on the side of that, and you sort of force it away from Stewart, and you step in next to Stewart, and now the three of you are in a line.
Yeah.
With the werewolf on the outside. His two wolf companions are on either side, probably about 5 feet away, 10 feet away from him. So it's like wolf space, wolf. And you see them sort of growling.
And then she gets into her stance. So.
Ready with that battle axe?
Yeah.
And what was the 17 damage? Okay, Jesus. Wow, that is a lot of damage. Holy shit.
That's why I went with great axe.
Yeah. That's numbers. Okay, so Auntie Nanny, you tell me, what does it feel like when your ghostly servant is no more?
She feels it's like imagine like being like really rich and snooty and coming home to find your servants have quit and now you have to do all the cleaning. But like briefly, because she probably like feels it disappear and then all of them, jerky just plop to the floor.
So you have your unseen servant is kind of weaving in through trees, and you just feel loss. You feel an absence, as you know that feeling means that your unseen servant is no more. You hear a roar, and it's not one of the two wolves that are in front of you. It appears as though a third wolf has fallen for your trap, and is currently gnashing at the delicious, tasty jerky ghost. While the other two sort of lope forward. One is going to attack at Thorne, who just barged in here, and the other one is going to attack at Toddrick. So let's see here. We'll get a bite on each of you. Ka-chow. And I believe they have advantage, so Thorne 21 and Toddrick 17.
Yeah, that'll hit.
That hit. So this thing sort of slowly comes towards you, mouth open, sort of dripping, much like yourself, and it sees you with your battle axe out, and it sort of dodges and then bites you on the leg. Toddrick, this one just sort of sidles up towards you and leaps, similar to the werewolf, and just sort of bears down, biting on your shoulder. You're just kind of fighting this thing off as you take 6 damage, and it is your turn, Toddrick.
Toddrick. Toddrick's not okay with this wolf latching onto him via the shoulder. Man, so he's gonna try to sling it off. I guess he's gonna try to use his shillelagh and pry it off his shoulder.
Yeah. So roll me a shillelagh.
Yep, I was going to do
11 is not quite enough to hit, unless you have... nope, it's not quite enough to hit.
Nope. All right. Is this a bonus thing here?
Is that a what now?
Talking to myself, sorry.
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess... Can I just try to physically remove him?
Sure. Yeah, you can push him off. Like, he's not imposing anything on you. Like, you can move still.
Yeah. So he's okay. So
yeah.
I kind of want to.
That was more of a narrative description than a.
All right.
Yeah, you're not like pinned or restrained or anything like that. He's just biting on you like a dog would bite on like a shoulder, and it's just kind of there. You can just easily like sort of push him off and get steps on.
I kind of want to linebacker him into a tree.
You can on your next turn. It is an action to bull rush. And that is, you have to move at least 10 feet and make a strength saving. So you can kind of back away from this thing and then just sort of ram into it. But it would get an attack of opportunity if you back away from it. But it is all possible. You can back away right now if you'd like to.
No, I was thinking about just like you said, I know you said it was descriptive or whatever, but I couldn't get him off, so I just bear hug him like this and run with him. But
you can do that as well on your turn. That is an action to make a restraint check. So you kind of just sort of whack at this thing. You feel its grip loosen up on your shoulder, but it is still sort of gnawing on you. Auntie Nanny, you see that your friends are engaged with 2 wolves and this seemingly were creature here. You also see, or you feel that your unseen servant has been mauled by a third figure in the distance.
Okay, Nanny, I imagine she's got like cool looking mage armory stuff all over her. She's going to kind of hop into the fray, twirling her broom like so, and reach into her spell component pouch, take out a little vial of spice, smash into the bristles of her broom, and then smash the broom to the ground to cast color spray, targeting hopefully the 2 lesser wolves.
Okay.
It is a 15-foot cone. I don't know how close they are together.
You can get around the side of your friends, and if you do so, you can actually hit the 2 wolves and the werewolf.
Okay. Oh, nice. So it's all based on... I have to roll 60-10.
Okay.
It shows how many... I think it goes... The ones with the lowest current hit points effective. So it probably will not affect the big guy at all.
Okay.
Just the little wolves. So I can affect up to 34 hit points worth of creatures.
So what does it do?
Okay. It will blind them for a turn.
Yep.
So it's like I have 34 hit points to work with. If one of these wolves, however many hit points it has, if the number I roll is higher than its hit points, it is blinded. Then whatever's left over,
goes to
I can subtract the hit point. Yeah, I can see if it can affect the next one.
Okay, so you sort of you dump your cinnamon peppermint, and you just sort of, and this big dust cloud extends out. Both wolves, as they like tumble off of the person they're biting, you can see them. They're like pawing at their faces. They're rubbing their nose in the dirt. It seems as though both wolves have been affected by whatever business you've just done to them.
Right. It's those Carolina Reapers.
And this blinds them?
Blinds them for a round.
Okay.
I believe, yes.
Cool. So they are blind for until next turn.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, so you see them having a big struggle with that. Let me just refresh myself what blind does. I believe it gives them disadvantage at a minimum. Turns out if you look up bling, that's a different thing entirely. Not found.
I got that
blinded.
too.
What does blind do? Because apparently they changed that in the SRD and it's not here anymore. So I'll worry about that next turn. If you can look up what blind does, that would be
I'll look it up and post
fantastic.
It. Keep it going.
Stewart Gibbs, you have just seen Thorne charge in and smash the werewolf away from you. You saw these 2 wolves just sort of lurch in there. Auntie Nanny came in with the first sort of combative magic you've seen, and she just and blinds them. What do you do?
I read that.
Yep.
And I think, Thorne's got this. She wants to tangle with that big ugly. That's fine.
Sure.
Stewart's just gonna start flinging his glaive around at the wolves attacking the squishy roof.
Done. So you're gonna protect Toddrick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Nanny, she's used to dying.
Yeah, that's true. She does die most of the time. A 16 hits.
Super.
7 damage. So yeah, you just sort of spin around and you just sort of drop the glaive down. Let me have that secondary attack. You have advantage because they are blinded, and you just sort of rack this thing up underneath its rib cage, and you hear this as it crumples. You feel a rib snap underneath the weight of that of the haft of that stick, and it just crumples at your feet between you and Toddrick.
You think he's going to hold a grudge, Toddy?
I'm more certain of it.
Awful.
Full of it.
Terrible. Now I changed the blind to dead. Yeah, perfect. So that thing just down to the side, and it is dead. You see no breath rise in its chest, and you can see like where you hit it with the stick. You can actually see part of like a rib poking out of it. And as this happens, you hear like this just horrendous growl noise as the werewolf leaps on you again, and is going to attack you with its bite and claws.
That's me?
That is you.
Oh.
That is you. And it's going to miss with a 10, and then it's going to bring some claws in with a 15, which also misses. This thing is coming at you with a reckless abandon. You just killed one of its pups or friends or something, you're not sure, but it's gnashing its teeth. It's swinging both claws at you, trying to make it through your armor. Your tabard is getting scratched up. Your armor is getting dinged and dented, but this thing is not finding or making any purchase on you.
For fuck's sake, Thorne, I thought you had this.
Thorne, your turn. Do you have this?
I got this. And she's just gonna go at it with the great axe again.
Okay.
At this, wait, you said it wasn't hurting?
It wasn't able to get through his armor, but it's scratching and clawing at him.
Okay. But when I hit it before...
You hit it. You did damage. Yep.
Alrighty.
19 hits. 11 damage. Cool. Yep, you just are cleaving into this thing. You see like muscle and sinew under the fur, just sort of, and it looks humanoid. Like you see it like it has like bulging shoulder muscles, and you're just like cleaving into this thing. But it is relentlessly attacking Stewart right now.
Okay, I'm gonna push it again.
Sure.
Is there like any kind of
enjoy your stay.
Like elevation or like a big rock or...
There are trees around. Is your push only 5 feet?
It's only 5 feet, yeah.
So 5 feet...
Every time I attack, I can go 5 feet.
Yeah, so he rebuffed against your 5 feet, sort of jumped back in, started attacking Stewart. If you push him again, it's not quite far enough to get him up to a tree, but you can step in and just keep pushing him away from Stewart. If you push him past Toddrick, there will be a line of trees, so you can smash him into that.
Okay, I'm gonna just keep shoving in that direction then.
Sure. Let's see if he resists. 13 is what I got to beat. He fails. So yeah, you just sort of shove this thing. Toddrick, you see stumbling over the corpse of the wolf is this were creature just sort of coming into your view in front of you as Thorne shoves this thing and steps into his place. It is your turn. I'm sorry, it is the wolf's turn. The wolf that was attacking Thorne is going to shift and attack Auntie Nanny because you have blinded it. However, I believe it has disadvantage on all attacks.
Yep.
So it's going to howl and nip at whatever the direction that dust came from. Mm-hmm. Let's see what happens here. Bite.
About my dust.
10? Does 10 hit you with your armor?
No, I swat him on the nose with my broom.
Okay.
Get back, you!
So this thing just like snaps at you. You can see that its eyes are closed, and it's still sort of snapping in the direction of you, and you easily just brushed it aside with the bristles of the doom broom. Mm-hmm. Toddrick, you have a lumbering oaf of a werewolf in front of you. Also, Thorne. What do you want to do? Toddrick.
Oh, you said that, and then you said, Thorne, what do you want to do? And I was like,
also
what?
Thorne.
Yeah.
Thorne's also like right next to
also,
you. She slid up in your area.
Also Thorne.
You can tell that like she's shoving the guy and like moving. She's trying to aim to get him against the tree so she can like pin him to the tree.
Well,
you can help with that.
Yeah, I could. I could give you guidance, but I don't even know if that's not even going to matter because you're doing a check here.
You could try the Toddrick move, the Toddrick and Stewart move, but with Toddrick and Thorne.
Yeah, but it's only a pull, and if I'm trying to push, this Thorn whip pulls them in your direction.
That's true. You're right.
Can you go on? You have enough movement to get to the
end? That's what I'm saying.
Like throw it on like a tree branch so it comes back like so in Indiana Jones.
Yeah, because I have my movement, and then it's just once the Juggernaut thing works that once that I hit him with my weapon, I can shove him 5 feet. So I still have my movement. So if you move him out of the way and get him closer to the tree, then I can get in.
Yeah, as long as it's not going to mess you up, I'll do.
No, it won't. As long as he's closer to the tree.
Yeah, I'm gonna run to the closest tree, and as I'm running, I'm gonna just turn and Spider-Man, and try to Thorn whip this thing around the neck and pull it up against the tree.
Do it.
I clicked on you.
22 will hit. 2 damage. Impressive. And you just pull. You yank him 10 feet, right? That's what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so you yank him 10 feet. So, Thorne, you sort of bash this guy away. You slide up. You have your battle axe ready. And out of nowhere, you see like this thorny vine just wrap around its throat. And you hear as it is yanked back. It's sort of scrambling and stumbles over the corpse of the wolf at its feet. And you see that it is now like pinned up against the tree. And out from behind the tree, you see one hand on a shillelagh, one hand on the actual thorn whip itself. You see Toddrick is behind the tree, sort of restraining this thing to the tree itself.
He gets off of one hand of the great axe. He gets a thumbs up.
Perfect.
I've got you, boo.
Auntie Nanny, you are standing toe to toe with this wolf. You see that its eyes are slowly blinking back open, as if it is shaking off the effects of your color spray, and it is your turn. What do you want to do?
Okay, I imagine the scene is like my 3 partners just dogpiling this big wolf. Well,
yes.
It's like just let Nanny play with the small one.
Actually, Stewart Gibbs is still it's Stewart,
okay.
The wolf, and you.
Ooh, I'm managing my slots carefully. Nanny is going to just you animal you up and bring the broom on it.
Nice.
Up. 5.
5 is not quite enough to hit. Actually, it's still. You know what?
Blind?
I'm going to say it's still blind until the end of your turn.
Okay.
It's one whole turn, so it's yes, you have advantage, and that does hit. You just boop it right on the nose, and
snoot.
deal 1 damage.
I'm helping.
An impressive amount of damage is what you dealt to it. Perfect.
Toddrick, Stewart, Thorne, look, I'm helping.
As you're just like bristling it, it's not even with the wood part of the broom, and you see this thing like as it like gets hit by your broom, and its eyes like snap open, and you see it like refocus its vision on you, as if to attack.
Yeah.
And as
go
ahead.
I bet you're allergic to alfalfa hay, and just
It's alpaca. You see it sort of like get down on its haunches, and as you see that, Gibbs, it is your turn. What are you doing?
Typing and unmuting myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Stewart is going to show Nanny how it's done without a broom.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys, they still got that werewolf. I don't want any part of that.
That's true.
Yeah.
A 13 will hit this wolf. 10 damage is literally enough to kill it.
Perfect.
So how do you
So
kill
my
it?
one health.
Probably just plants the blade like right between its eyes.
Yeah, but like through the
Just
back
enough
of it,
to, like-
through the back of its head because you're behind it. And just
Oh,
sort of,
right,
right
'cause
through the
it's attacking
base,
Nanny.
right through the
Yeah.
base of the skull, and it just sort of like
Yeah, and then he pulls it out with this like splorch noise.
yeah.
little splatter of blood.
Mm-hmm.
Very good, Nanny. Thank you. That was
so Nanny, you have successfully distracted the wolf, and you see it like bearing down to attack you, and then you see its eyes go wide as the tip of a blade just protrudes out between them, and then just yanks back the head, and the thing just sort of tumbles back over itself and is in a heap between the two of you, just blood pooling out of its skull.
And then I think Stewart's gonna position himself, maybe 15 feet away from this werewolf, between it and Nanny. In case it comes at them, he'll be ready to stab it too.
Perfect. In that case, I think... Man, what is this wolf gonna do? You yanked it back 10 feet. You're behind a tree. This wolf is going to free itself of your thorny whip and attack you, Toddrick, as you are the closest thing to it that just attacked it. And you have powerful magics. So you see, like, your vine recedes as this thing is just clawing at its neck, and then you see it, like, slope down onto all fours and just begin slowly walking towards you, and then it rises up to its 6-foot-tall height, and you just... Woof, woof, 2 claws come right out at you. A 20 and a 7. You take 5 slashing damage as this thing rakes across your chest, bearing down on you with its barred teeth. Thorne, you see this thing as it like gets unpinned from the tree and begins attacking your horse dwarf friend. What do you do? You can position yourself so you can smash it into a tree as well.
Yeah, I'm mad because we had a thing going and now he's ruined it.
Right.
So I was gonna talk to him, but
now.
So I'm gonna move myself so that I can smash him into the tree.
Sure.
And so I will rage.
19 hits.
Okay. Rage. And then...
let's see what happens here.
So,
Fail.
I'm not sure. So, yeah, basically what I'm doing is pushing him 5 feet, but he's getting...
So roll me 1d6.
A d6, okay.
Cool.
Oh.
So you sort of reposition yourself. You have your battle axe. You're ready to go. Describe to me how you kill this werewolf.
With the 1 damage.
It literally was 1 damage.
So what she'll do is she'll see when he twisted and turned to get out of the thorn whip.
Mm-hmm.
He peeled part of the tree and knocked some of the branches off and everything like that. So I know she's pissed because they had a plan and now it's ruined.
Right.
And when she moves over to the side, she gets an even better view and she gets this great big acid drooling grin on her face. She runs right at him with the great axe this way.
The flat of the axe, yep.
But the curved part pointing at him.
Right.
Gets him in the gut, but lifts him up and gets the branch straight through the throat.
Nice. Yeah, so you sort of bash this thing and it just sort of like stabs through it. And you see Toddrick and Thorne, you see this thing sort of like lurch against this, like, and he has like those convulsions as blood just pools out of its neck and where the battle axe is embedded into it. You see that like its wounds are bleeding, and you see it convulse a few more times, and then a concernable number more convulsions that you would think were not part of its death throes, and then you see it have a similar effect as Toddrick, and you hear like as bones snap as this thing begins to revert. Yeah, you pull your axe out, blood just starts spilling out of its chest, and its bones crack, and it's like... and it becomes a human pinned to the tree.
Toddrick's immediately going to look at this and go, "Oh, that is gross. Is that what I look like when I do my little changey thing?" He's asking Thorne.
She nods vehemently.
Oh, no.
Being disgusting.
Now Toddrick's going to be like super self-conscious when he changes into animals.
She's still raging. at this point, so she's just still like, steaming and heaving. She's gonna go look around and make sure that everything is dead properly.
Yeah. So as you like step out from behind the tree, battle axe ready, you see that the 2 dead wolves are there. This guy is bleeding out. You see Auntie Nanny has broom in attack mode, and Gibbs is slowly wiping the blood off of his sword stick.
Okay, I'm just gonna go double tap the wolves to make sure that they're dead.
They are dead. They are for sure super dead.
Are you further illustrating how the heads got chopped off the statues?
Yes.
Yes.
No, she wants to take a wolf pelt for her badass outfit.
Sure. Yeah, you can spend time skinning a wolf. Do you have knowledge of skinning wolves in the previous years? So you're just going to wing it? Okay. Perfect. So while the combat dies down and your rage subsides, roll me survival.
Come on, rage skinning.
Rage skinning.
Yeah, that sounds like a great sport.
That's better than I thought it would be.
That's not bad. That's not bad. You know it's going to take you a while to do, but you sit down. Do you have any other weapons on you, or is it just the battle axe?
I have a great axe.
Yep.
I have 2 hand axes, and I believe I had 3 javelins. And
Okay. So I imagine this is like, I forget what scene.
Hand axe.
Yeah. So I imagine this is like you just sit down next to the wolf and you take the great axe, you put it down, you take the battle axes, you put it down, you take the javelins, you put them down, and you're just kind of looking to see what you could skin this thing with. And you take the hand axes and begin slowly shaving a wolf with your hand axes, as that's the most finesse weapon you have.
As I slowly come down from my rage.
Yeah. So it's like, and like the cuts get more and more neat as you slowly stop drooling and stop hulking as you are skinning this wolf. Toddrick, you are face to face with a possible another nature wizard. You're not sure, but it's definitely a man now. What are you doing?
What is he wearing?
Nothing.
Gross.
Yep.
Did he retain any of his wounds from when he was a wolf?
Yeah, all of the wolves, all of his wounds. Dead. He's got like a wound across his chest where the battle axe just bit into him. He's got wounds on his shoulders. He's got a few stab marks from the polearm. He has lacerations on his neck, and you can see like a few points where your thorns bit in. He retained every single wound.
Does this man look familiar to me at all? Will I be? I mean, not like an intimate. But would I recognize him? From
you do not recognize him. He's a strange man.
Oh man, well I can't really.
Roll me. Roll me.
He doesn't have any pockets. I guess I could check his prison wallet.
Roll me nature. Are you trained in nature, or are you trained in Arcana?
Arcana.
Roll me Arcana instead.
Okay.
So you know that when you shift, you do not sustain the wounds on your body that you sustained when you were an animal.
Animal.
When you
okay. Is there anybody around me?
I mean, everyone's within like a 10-foot radius of you.
Okay, I didn't know if like everybody.
Yeah,
you're just
behind a tree, but everyone else is like around the wagon. You see Father Donovich peek out from in the wagon. Is everything okay?
Oh yeah, no, we're fine. Don't worry about us. You just keep doing your little thing.
I was protecting Irina. And you see her head poke out.
So would we.
I see that.
Can I cast Identify on this corpse?
On the human man corpse?
Yeah, the human man corpse.
Sure. What are you trying to identify?
I'm trying to see if it's if Adam was created by us, or if you touch a creature throughout the cast, you learn what spells, if any, are affecting it. That's just what she would naturally do. Is I wonder if he's affected by a spell and made him draw this voodoo.
Yeah. So what does your identify spell look like when you do it?
She's going to take out that little human piece of flesh, the fuzzy flesh.
The fur, yep.
Yeah. And her identify spell is mostly just her kind of sitting meditative pose. Oh no, she's kind of sitting on her knees and just like babbling incoherently.
Sure.
Like a crazy old person.
Yep. Perfect. And then when you finish the casting of your spell, you stand up and you touch the chest, one of the least bloody part of this guy's chest. Mm-hmm. And you don't feel any spell on him.
Okay.
However, as you touch him, you feel a pulse of power flowing through the body of this man. As if like something within him has power. It's slowly draining out, but you feel like whatever magic might have been exists within his person.
Okay. I do I get any kind of feeling like does his aura, whatever it is I'm detecting, maybe match what I would have detected in that?
Roll me an Arcana.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's roll that. Let's roll a 24.
Yeah, so you put your hand to him, you're channeling to see what kind of magic made him do this. He wasn't affected by a spell, but based on what you've heard, rumors you've heard recently, the way that stories are adding up or not adding up, the fur you found, the power you feel is unlike something you've felt before. This person is cursed, and the curse is in his blood. So while you're not sensing a spell on him, there is a spell in him. Like he exists as the embodiment of a spell, and you're fairly certain that the fur, the tuft of fur you found in the bushes, emanates the same kind of magic. You sense transfiguration magic on that. You sense a similar dark, perverted transfiguration magic within this guy. Okay.
Is there any way that she would be able to know, and this is me just metagaming out, that a bite can transfer that curse, or does she not know this?
Have you researched or experienced curses and or lycanthropy in any other?
Not lycanthropy, but she believes that she herself has been cursed by the black bat, and that the source of her magic is this dark curse that's been put on her.
Okay.
So she sees herself as having been cursed.
Yeah. So you would know in a generic sense that curses can be transferred by many means. A bite is one of them. So if this is in fact a curse, which right now is an assumption for you, that it could possibly be transferred by a bite.
I immediately toss the chunk of flesh away because it might be infected. Who knows? She doesn't.
Yep.
Quite. She turns to everyone. Was anyone wounded by this creature? It was swinging its claws, gnashing his teeth.
Oh, it was real bad at that.
Toddrick's going to look down at his gash mark and be like, I've got a little cut, yeah.
She kind of nods her head. Keep an eye on it. I believe this creature here was cursed to be this beast. And some curses can transfer. And one way is through a wound.
Well, that's definitely not how I've got to turn into other animals, but you learn something new every day, right?
If you turn into a weird humanoid kind of horse, I'm just gonna run.
I wonder if I could turn into a wolf horse.
Like a lycanthrope horse.
A lycan horse. A horse.
I like equestrian.
Yeah. An equestriope.
Equestripe.
Did I actually manage to get most of the skin off the wolf?
You know that it's going to take you, to skin the entire wolf, it's going to take you the better part of an hour to fully get this thing off with your relatively rudimentary skills. And you're trying to be as slow and careful as possible since you have really no experience doing this. It's probably going to take you the better part of an hour. You could pick it up and throw it in the back of the cart and skin as you go, or skin later. It's up to you entirely.
Yeah, I'll do that. She'll work until they make her go, and then she'll throw it in the cart and finish it later.
Sure.
He's gonna Toddrick's gonna see her having trouble trying to skin a wolf with an axe, and he's gonna throw her his dagger that he's not using.
Yeah.
All right.
So he gives you a dagger. It's easier to skin. It will take you less time. than it would with your axe, but it still will take you some time. Stewart, what are you doing in this whole debacle?
Probably not a whole lot. Tending to his gear, like pissed off that it was fucking with his clothes again. So
yeah,
probably trying to set them straight. Sharpening his glaive, but letting everybody else deal with all this stuff. He really, really does not care what this thing was that was a man and wasn't. At this point, it's all just stupid, and he's done with it.
This is the worst vacation for Stewart Gibbs in the history of vacations.
Yeah. The brochure looked real good.
Yeah.
And you get there, and there's not even roofs on the huts, and it's just the worst.
It's been a bad day, man. It's been a bad couple of days for old Stewie Gibbs. So yeah, Thorne, you grab this wolf corpse, you sort of deposit it in there. If you want to take the second one, you can do that as well. Hell, if you want to take the human man body out from that tree and put him in the cart, you guys are welcome to do that as well.
Well, she'll point to the corpse and say, aren't you supposed to, like, give back human people to their people when they die?
It's a fair point.
Not when they're trying to kill us. We don't care.
I'm not sure if he was human to begin with and we killed him into a man. I'm not sure if he was, normally just a large wolf and we killed him so hard he became a man, or if he...
I know that's not a thing.
Well, I mean, listen. When I get hurt as a creature of another feature, I don't retain my wounds. I don't keep the pokes and the scratches. It's not a thing. This man has every single mark on him. I know Nanny said he was cursed. That might have something to do with it. But he is not one of whatever I am.
Nobody's one of what you are, buddy.
You wish you were what I was.
Yeah. If I was half the man you are.
Is that a joke? I'm not even a man. I'm a dwarf. A dwarf.
Yeah, a small one. You started this, okay?
Okay, but how about we put him by the path, and then other humans will see, and then maybe they will know what to do with.
Well, we can't risk him. If he's diseased, like Nanny says, we can't risk anybody else coming into contact with him. We've come into contact with him. I'm probably already doomed to be a wolf for the rest of my life, which, theoretically is kind of cool, but,
Wait. Can I be a wolf?
Her saying that's going to make him go,
well, you're dressed like one. I'll look at the pelt.
No, not yet. I gotta make it into a thing. You put one head on each shoulder, and you gotta make it look like they're roaring. And it's thing. Don't worry about it.
It's a whole deal.
Toddrick wants to go to Stewart and run an idea past him. He's like, okay, listen. I know this is strange, but if we take one of those guys' fingers and scratch Thorne with it and she becomes like a wolf lizard person, we'll have twice the amount of damage we were able to do beforehand, and maybe we can attack that big spooky guy.
This is your fucking hypothetical monster battles again.
Yeah.
I swear to God, this is not the time.
I'm telling you, it could work.
Well, go get his fucking finger then. Maybe we'll play with it later.
I'm not cutting his finger off. That's gross.
You can put the finger into like a blowgun and hit her in the back of the neck with it to make her transform.
You're going to turn around and realize Nanny's right there. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Don't you encourage him.
I mean, is this a thing? Are we doing this or
no?
Thorne,
No.
You know what else looks cool, Thorne? Wearing the fingers of your enemies like a little necklace around your neck.
He's going to look at Nanny and go,
How did I become the only fucking sane one here?
You started that way, I think.
Yeah.
It's hard out here for a kid.
It is hard out here for a kid.
I already got this. She has a necklace like it's like one of those big wide fan sort of necklaces. It's just made out of all the long bones of like rabbits and stuff, like the long leg bones. So it's like a big sort of gorget to her armor, but it's all cosmetic armor.
Rabbit bones are cool, but you know what's cooler than rabbit bones? Mutant people talking into humanoid wolf bones.
People got mad because of this guy, but man, this is my bro, and I'm not losing him. But since people get mad if I take human bones, I'm not taking any more human bones except my bro.
I love how we started this campaign was like, we cannot allow her to have human bones around her neck, and now we're like, oh, it's cool, just fucking hang fingers from your
fingers. Yeah. You just said bones, not the whole finger. It's fine if there's skin on it.
Yeah. Now that there's undeniable proof that it's a finger that belongs to a human,
definitely a person, for sure.
Yeah. So no, she's drawing the line at human bones. She's not allowed.
Yeah.
The whole time they were doing this,
So
Stewart's just sitting in the background, just pinching the bridge of his nose.
Also, we don't want like some necromancer to cast like raise dead on her and summon all of her jewelry to like attack her. We just keep putting more dead things on her.
Yeah.
Just
Stewart is doing the math of how he could position his pole arm and run at it and just end it all. Just call it a day.
Pretty much, yeah.
If I put two rocks and I lean it at just the right angle, I'm 6'2".
This catapult thing.
Yeah. If I catapult the spear.
Todd's gonna look at Stewart and be like, I'm gonna have my kaiju battle one day. I swear.
That's not even a word.
It's because I said so. I made up the word, and it's my word for monster battle. It'll catch on, don't worry. Maybe an island nation will adopt it and base their culture around it.
get the enlarged spell and cast it.
Yeah, this is like your giant animated suits of armor too. Like, there's something wrong with you, buddy.
More wolves attack. Oh man. So Thorne, you have positioned both wolf bodies in the cart. What are you doing with the human body? Because I know you said you wanted to do something with it, but the rest of everyone else wants to chop it into pieces or wear like a hat or something. I'm not sure.
They said it's infectious or something.
Yep, they did say that.
So she offers to destroy it with acid, or she will bury it.
The acid thing. We haven't seen that acid thing. I could go for, not a good one anyway.
Yeah.
Growl at him.
Do you guys want Thorne to dispose of this body?
I'm okay with that.
Just offer to dig a hole as well.
Normally, you dig a hole for somebody who is worth it. This is a giant wolf man who retained all of his wounds, who Nanny said he's not worth it, just melt him.
Okay. So she'll find a spot of it's mostly dirt where there's not really anything else she's gonna seriously destroy.
Yeah. I mean, right now he's pinned by the throat to a tree, so you could just spray the tree down if you want.
No, she doesn't want to. She's been
doesn't want to hurt the tree, right?
Yeah, she's been taught not to do these things.
Fair.
She is. She'll take the corpse off the tree.
Yep. So with a sickening, plunging squelch noise, you out of the tree.
She apparently is not bothered in the slightest by any of this.
Yeah. Blood just pools out of the hole in its neck.
This feels so much like the fly.
Mm-hmm.
And then she takes a moment to really get herself into a good position. I don't know if you want to roll the damage.
No, you don't have to roll on it. So just describe what it looks like when you let loose a torrent of acid out of your mouth.
you guys have seen the little bits of drool, right? But she gets into this position, and you see these, lizards, they have that sort of fold at their throat. It gets this sort of little, like, bulge underneath, and then her jaw kind of clicks, and it just, this horrific, like, greenish ooze just comes flying out of her mouth, and it sizzles and burns, and the stench is really acidic again. And she makes sure she aims, it sort of goes, in a line kind of away from her, so she made sure it sort of showered the entire body. And it just starts, everything just bubbles and sizzles and melts, and parts of the body.
Yeah, and it smells acrid. Like you're like, oh, it's just acid in the skin and it's totally fine. But it smells like almost sulfuric, and you can see like it just like bubbles and like just drips as the skin just sloughs off of this thing, until like the bones beneath are pitted and like the marrow begins to leak out of some of the holes, and it's just an intensely disgusting thing that you guys have never really witnessed before.
This is he's gonna smell this. Toddrick's gonna smell this, and it's gonna like, he thought he was done being hungover, but then that smell is gonna like trigger. He's gonna,
and you were all for it too. You're like, yeah, I know it's burning with acid. It's totally,
Yeah.
Oh God, you're really getting
for that.
You're really getting into. Oh, and that's his bone. That's how you got all the rodent.
The skeleton like starts to kind of come out of because the soft tissue would melt first.
Yeah, yep. You see the muscle and sinew start to like bubble and just. Yeah.
And as she's finished with the majority of the, she kind of, leans forward, makes sure she gets all the last bits of it. She's aiming for little parts of it when they're not quite out.
Parts she's missed, yeah. And after a matter of minutes, you see that all of the skin has just in this just disgusting, acrid pool beneath it, and like the bone and muscle tissue is slowly starting to slough off as well, and it's just disgusting. It's just.
Oh, did we ever buy a shovel at any point?
I don't think anyone bought a shovel. No.
Crap.
No,
unfortunately.
Nanny's cauldron.
Yeah, we're using Nanny's cauldron. That's true.
No, we're not using that.
Yeah, you don't want to use that for whatever that plan is.
Because if we cook something in it, it's gonna taste like that.
Yeah. So as Thorne kind of gets up, proud that she did the job, you see Toddrick is doubled over and retching. You see
that's also part of her job.
Yeah. You see Father Donovich walks out from behind a tree, sort of wiping his mouth as he was also retching behind there. And you see Irina is just watching with this weird fascination. She's very pale, but she's watching the whole thing. Auntie Nanny and Stewart, how are you handling the desiccation of a human body? Not well?
Yeah, probably better than Toddrick.
Yeah.
That he's, as soon as it happened, he probably turned away. He had to go check on something over behind those trees. Just
see what's heard a noise.
Yeah, he's making sure the perimeter was safe.
That's fair. Nanny, this is the first time I think you've seen a body dissolved in acid. How do you feel about it?
Well, her job is keeping dead bodies intact.
Yeah.
So seeing the exact opposite of this, she probably finds it interesting since she is a mage and experiments on stuff. She might even take a little jar of it.
Gross. You're a monster person as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I assume you have vials and just baubles on you at all times. You just kind of like
enjoy
scoop up,
your stay.
and it's like it has like the viscosity of like engine coolant. It's this weird like gloppy like, and you just sort of scoop it up, and it smells bad. And you stopper it with a big Bunsen burner stopper.
Yep.
Not good.
You never know what you might need.
Yeah, human baby ashes and human acid skin.
I'm going to
I have a bag made of leather.
That's true. You do have a leather bag. You'll find out.
I'm going to summon the creepiest demon when I'm done collecting all this weird shit.
You're gonna just the boss of the campaign is actually you. It's not Strahd. It's when you kill Strahd and use him as the final piece of the ritual to summon forth Mecha Nanny.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Toddrick gets his kaiju battle.
There we go.
Kaiju, yeah. Toddrick finally turns into like a horse wolf.
Yeah, it's the horse wolf lizard. So you guys have prepared your cart. You've relieved your stomach contents all across the forest, and you now have 2 wolves to bring back with you. Toddrick, do you horse it up again? You gonna horse around?
No, Toddrick's not feeling horsey.
He's not feeling horsey? So you guys begin pushing the cart. Who is leading through the forest this time?
I'll pull the cart.
Okay. Who's leading through the forest this time?
Barring anybody else, I think Stewart will.
Okay, Stewart, roll me a survival check.
He saw the way Toddrick was looking at him.
Yeah.
Next time we do it against you.
You saw that Toddrick got immediately lost, and you were like, well.
It's not going to go well.
Yeah.
How the fuck did we get back here?
We fought those wolves because I didn't know where we were going, right?
Yeah. More wolves attack.
Yeah. Net 0, bitch.
About the Nat 0. That's a good one. You find the town. So
we wind up at Strahd's castle, and he's like, "The fuck?"
Yeah. So you have been wandering through this dark forest. You haven't seen any light. This fog and mist keeps rolling in. You do hear repeated howls in the distance. Toddrick, you are training a keen ear. You haven't heard any of those strange howls, but you have heard the wolf howls and like larger wolf howls. There might not just be wolves here. And you guys spend the vast majority of the night sort of, or what you perceive to be the night, because the canopy is so dense above you that you really can't see what time of day it is. You spend hours and hours sort of going through here. You check in with Dodovich. You're kind of looking around. You guys loop back a few times. And you eventually make it to a stream.
Whole time, I should point out, Stewart is not admitting that he was wrong. He's, it's just right over here.
Yeah.
I know because the way the light is coming in, it's definitely just past this copse of trees.
Of course. Yeah, why wouldn't it be right there?
Yeah.
You see, as you exit the forest, you guys sort of see a bit of a clearing, and you hear the trickle of water running, away from you. You sort of exit the forest in trepidation. It is nightfall. However, you are starting to see the trickle of sun rays begin to rise as the pseudo sunset. And you guys, emerge from this dark forest. You see the stream, and then maybe a mile or 2 away across the stream on top of a ridge, you see a small castle. And atop adjacent to the castle, atop this 10-foot wide cube, this massive stone structure, in regal repose, you see wings drawn back, neck stretched out, like looking over the forest, what you can only assume to be a dragon. What do you do?
I found it.
She's gonna stare at the dragon in awe.
Mm-hmm.
Toddrick's just gonna look at Thorne and go, "Friend of yours."
She's just like mind blown. She's never seen this,
Yeah. You guys would know, especially Toddrick, being the most educated. Dragons haven't been seen in hundreds of years. if not 1,000 years. You also know, actually, Nanny. No, I guess really it's Thorne. Thorne would know that recently in Blackpool, one of the cities inside of Kryn, that there was an alleged dragon made entirely out of blood that attacked the city. But you weren't there to see that, so you're not sure if this is a rumor or a crazy, far-fetched tale.
So this is a skeleton?
As far as you can tell from a few miles away across this thing, this is a full-on dragon.
Oh, like living.
Yeah, like this dragon is perched, its wings are pulled tight to its body, sort of in this regal pose, its neck is stretched up, and it's sitting like with its 4 feet in front of it, sort of on its haunches, looking eastward towards you guys. Granted, you guys are like a mile or 2 miles out from this thing, but you just see this monstrous dragon.
Well, I'm posing. For sure.
Sure. Yeah.
I need to look. I mean, I'm in the presence of a dragon.
Yeah.
I need to look as badass as completely as badass as possible.
That's fair.
What color of dragon can I tell? Or do you want me to roll?
You cannot tell. You are about 2 miles away. So everything in the sunlight and the mist, everything looks like this weird gray, this mottled gray color. Until you get closer, you wouldn't be able to tell the color of this dragon.
We are going to that dragon.
Sure.
Maybe drop off the cargo first, and I point over to Arena.
Yes.
Then we go.
I don't know. Is it? He's gonna look at Stewart. Is it looking at us? And Toddrick's gonna kind of wave.
Stuart's gonna watch and see if it waves back.
It does not wave back.
God dang! I was hoping for a fantastic Mr. Fox situation.
It's absolutely looking at us. It's just a dick. No, this is real bad. There's no dragons, Toddrick. There aren't dragons.
No, that right there proves that you're wrong. It is a dragon.
No, there's some logical explanation for this. I don't expect to get it from any of you people.
Yeah, no, maybe the trees are just grown in a certain specific way that the shadows cast from the sun and the angle of the town back there in the distance is gleaming off the lake just right. That makes it look like there's a real life dragon just a couple miles up the road right there. When you see that's more explainable, right? That's how that goes.
Trick of the light. Swamp gas.
Yeah.
Do you remember what we just killed? I think if
yeah, no, it was a person that the trees made look like a wolf, right? Yeah, that's what it was.
Swamp gas.
The trees made that bat look like Count Strahd von Zarovich that Thorne was holding the other day.
Yeah, look, I'm not seeing that we don't need to get out of here, Stu. Just saying that's a damn dragon.
Fucking hate this place.
She's just completely confused by all of their explanations. Gonna look at Irina and be like, "You're still going to this village, right?"
You asked her what? I'm sorry?
"You still going to this village, right?"
She looks to Father Donovich, and they both kind of look at this dragon and then back to you and say, I don't think this is Vallaki. There are no dragons in Vallaki.
Good. Yeah, I mean, I meant, to go there, but I don't have a map.
Perhaps the path through the woods was not our brightest choice. But I don't. I'm not exactly sure where we are, but if we follow this river, it should lead us to Lake Zarovich, where Vallaki is on the border.
So.
Sounds good to me.
So should we go to the village?
Yep.
Yes.
No. This one.
No. Thorne, you can impress a dragon when we're done.
No, I don't think the village is that way. I think the village is that way. And she points towards the river, the river that's running away from you guys.
But there's a dragon.
Yes, which is why I don't believe that this is the direction we need to be going.
Why?
There isn't a dragon in Vallaki.
But
Okay,
do
Thorne.
you know why there's a dragon? It's not supposed to be a dragon.
No, didn't you hear her say it was the light in the trees? It's not a real dragon, Thorne. And he's gonna look at Stewart
Very
like,
confused, and she's starting to get angry.
Okay, Thorne. You know how you eat everything, and you're big, right? But you're not as big as a dragon, and you eat everything. So if you were as big as a dragon, you'd eat more everything. And we're everything. So just saying, if some off chance that is a dragon, it's gonna eat us.
Okay, I don't want it to eat Irina, so we will go where he wants to go.
We're gonna roll with that without hesitation. Grab the cart.
I'll just pull the cart wherever Irina tells her to.
Just in the most grumpy manner ever seen.
So mad.
Everything she's ever wanted.
Yeah.
So mad.
So you guys begin to follow the river. Across the river, you guys can see there's like a small footpath that is following basically the same way you guys are. And eventually you come down to a small bridge. You guys see like a crossroads on the opposite side of the bridge, on the western bank of the bridge, where the road comes to like this, like I said, this cross intersection. You see there's a signpost pointing in all four directions, but some of the signpost is snapped and broken, and this is also on the opposite side of the bridge from you guys. The road continues to the east, and the river continues to the north. Where do you guys go?
Wherever Irina says.
the right way.
Let's finish the quest.
I mean, Stewart's ready to lead again, but...
Nah, I got it. I got this. I got this. Toddrick's gonna dip his finger into the water, give it a taste, pick up some blades of grass, kind of, and then he's gonna roll to see if he knows which way to go.
Please roll another 0. Pretty close. So you know that if you continue going north, you will likely hit this Lake Zarevich. However, knowing that Vallaki seems to border Lake Zarevich, it stands to reason that it might be along a road. So your options have been narrowed down to left or right. They seem to think that, well, if you're... So here's where you are currently. The forest you went through is on your right. The road goes right. You know you passed through the forest, so likely the answer is right.
Todd's gonna be like, you know what? I think we should go left now. He's just gonna look at Stewart. Go back the way we came.
Through the woods.
Head off to the right.
He's gonna head off right into the woods. Yeah, so you get to this bridge intersection. You're kind of looking around, trying to see the sign across the way. You eventually just go to the right. You follow the road down. About an hour passes, and you can begin to see a large wooden palisade in front of you. It is this massive wooden structure. Excuse me. I had to burp. You see this massive wooden structure before you that ensconces the entire town. You see 2 large gates barring entry. And at this, Donovich sort of perks up, and he says, "This, I believe, I haven't seen it from this angle before, but I believe this is Vallaki. I've never been out the western gate, but I believe this is where we are." As you guys begin to walk down the road, you kind of see a few small like hovels. There's a few paths that go off, like footpaths that go off of the main road. But other than that, that's what you guys see. Do you guys continue to proceed into the town proper?
Toddrick's gonna look at Nanny and be like, Yeah. Walk close to see if the gate's open again.
Oh, okay, there, I'll do that. And she kind of like steps forward, backs up, steps forward a little bit, backs up a lot, and like starts moving it towards the gate. I'm guessing they're not going to open. So
They do not open.
So she, well, let me try a new trick. She knocks on the door.
You hear... And you hear this, like, clang, clang, and this, like, bar opens in this gate, and you see the face of a human male with a helmet on, and he peers through, and he says, nobody not know how. No one can see the wizard. He leans forward, and he says, where did you come from? How did you get to the Zarovich gate?
Well, you see, we hit a stream that way, went up a little bit, and we came to this side. Where did you come from?
The town. How did you get on this side of the town?
Advanced pathfinding.
She says, well, me and my crew, we're very, good in a pinch. You know, if a bad thing attacks us, we attack it back, and we just, we went through the woods. There's some scary things in there. Snarly wolf people. They're not nice. Did you know you had a wolf infestation in your woods?
Yeah. And he kind of like leans down and like he puts his hand out of the slidey hole and points up. And if your eyes follow his gesture, you see on the parapets of the wall there are spikes. There are like pikes with wolf heads planted on each one of the pikes. And he says, if you had been here, what was it, like 3 days? Yeah, about 3 days ago, you would have seen the wolf head festival. I don't know what the hell he calls it these days. The wolf head festival, I think, is what he was calling it. Yeah, the Burgomaster, he said, there's another one coming up, I believe, the Sun's Dawn or some such festival. I'm not sure, but it'll be here in a few days if you want to stay around for it.
Well, that sounds dandy. Well, if you just open this gate here and let my little caravan of friends come through, we'll set up shop, we'll throw some coin around your town to support the local business, and we cannot wait for your festival. I want to make it wear my little golden, the golden necklace of, hang on, don't say it. Oh, I was going to look it up. Yeah, but where it's perfectly visible.
Sure. He looks to you, and he like looks at Toddrick, and he like kind of cocks his head. Oh. And he looks to Thorne. Oh, you're one of those. Okay. Yeah, no, okay. All right. And you hear... well, we don't get any of your kind. Or your kind. So I assume that you're adventurers of some manner.
Only recently.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Anyway. And you hear like clank, clank, clank as like locks unlock, and then the door begins to wrench open. This iron door begins to wrench open. And before you see the town of Vallaki just sort of chilling there, being pretty good. The town extends. In fact, let me slide over you because I have all the cool maps, guys.
Nice.
I have the coolest of maps. Let me see here.
Give us a dose of that map.
How do maps work? Boom. Is that how? Nope. Nope. Just me. Oh,
Oop, what's that?
Not that one.
unMadeGaming.
Where the hell did the ribbon go? I hate this book. Don't worry about that place either. Guys, pro streaming. Boop! There it is. Found it.
Okay.
Third time's the charm. So you guys are arriving in the village of Vallaki, and you are on the left-hand side of this map. You are on the western gate, known as the Zarovich Gate. They let you in with no real issue, and you see the town extend before you. The first sight you notice is a church similar to the church you saw in Barovia. There is a wrought iron gate. You can kind of see it. It's one of the biggest structures you can see from that gate. It is right here. You see the church with a wrought iron fence around the back of it and a large plot of graveyard. This doesn't seem to be in disrepair or evil or full of, hungry, slavering undead. But you guys are free to proceed into the town. And as you make your way past the gate, the guards close the gate behind you. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Oh, I need just a place to stretch and relax, really. It's been quite a doozy of a day for us all. A couple of days, week, maybe.
That is the Church of St. Andrew. Occasionally you can find a service there at night. You could try the Blue Water Inn. They may have a room available, but the prices are quite steep. Or you could sleep on the ground. You could see the burgomaster, see if he has a place for you, if you like.
She perks up. Oh, I know. I need a place to sell magical wares. Maybe there's a reagent shop, or a voodoo hut, or a seer of sorts.
I don't know about a seer. I think those filthy travelers have a camp. If you follow the footpath into the woods, the Vistani have a small camp out there. We don't let them in the city. They bring disease with them, and voodoo magics, and they bring evil curses with them.
I'm totally fine with it. Voodoo nonsense. I'll head that way. And she.
You just leave the gate. Yeah, so they're back outside the gate and into the forest.
I'll walk through the town to get to them, I guess.
So if you're looking at your map, this footpath here will lead to them. You guys are currently here. So you go back out the gate you came and follow that footpath into the woods, and he says you'll eventually find them. The rest of you, he begins to open the gate for Auntie Nanny, and he says, and the rest of you, what can I direct you to? And he looks to the rest of you guys.
I'm going to look at Irina.
Irina looks to you and says, I would assume I could find refuge in the burgomaster's mansion. I believe he knew my father.
I will take you there.
I could have a burger.
That's not quite the same. You're the worst people ever. They point you towards the center of town. It's a large house. You can't miss it. Ask literally anyone where the burgomaster might be. It is a mansion. It's an enormous house. And they point you towards the center of town. And he looks lastly with some sort of mock enjoyment. He looks towards Toddrick as if they haven't seen a dwarf ever, or at least in a long time, and he says, and you, what do you do?
I read stuff.
Oh.
He drinks too.
Okay.
Do you know where he looks down? We get a Band-Aid or something.
Yeah, perhaps at St. Andrew's they could probably fix you up. Maybe the Blue Water Inn. They have food, clean water. Perhaps they could give you some kind of protection. And ale. They have that. Wine. They have wine.
So look down his cut again. I apologize for not giving you a cleaner segue into telling us where the inn is, but I'll go to the church. He's gonna look at Stewart. I'll meet you at the Burger King or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, someone should probably keep an eye on Thorne.
I hate you people. So you guys proceed into town, except for Auntie Nanny. Toddrick, you split off and you go to St. Angel's. You see this slouching centuries-old stone church. Looks very similar to the one in Barovia. It has a bulging steeple in the back, and you see that there are cracked and chipped stained glass windows all around this place. You see a similar wrought iron fence. You see a few gardens out back, and then a bunch of gravestones as well. You depart from your friends, Thorne and Stewart. You continue on into the center of town, while Auntie Nanny, you exit the town and head down the footpath and towards the woods there. And you're looking for the Vistani camp. So as you begin to walk this way, you see a few footpaths split off and horse trails, but they all, as you follow them, you see them kind of loop back in on each other, and these seem to be like almost hiking trails if this were a pleasant place to be. But as you proceed down into this dark forest, which you just spent the night in, the woods part to reveal this large expansive clearing and a small grass-covered hill with a few low, squat houses built into the sides. There's a thick layer of fog at the base of this, so you really can't see the features of these buildings. But you do see atop the hill, above this layer of fog, is a ring of wagons similar to what you saw at the pool the 2 nights ago. All of these wagons surround a large central tent, and you see a column of smoke just billowing out from the top of that tent. Do you proceed on?
Yeah, she's going to aim towards the central tent.
Okay. Hoping to find your friend again?
Yeah, maybe. Or who's she's also got some stuff she might want to sell that mage people might prefer.
Sure.
Oh, snap! New map.
New map, indeed. So you see these squat buildings. You see a bunch of these carts around a large central tent, and you again hear that lilting sound of music, just sort of slowly happening around a campfire. It seems as though wherever these people go, there are brightly lit colors and music to be had. So you follow and spiral up this hill as it rounds to the top of the hill, and you see that there are dozens of horses. Several of these carts are ready to go, each one bearing its own horse. This massive tent, larger than the one you found before, and you hear revelry and drinking.
She strides in,
right,
looking happy as can be.
Sure, perfect.
There are no guards?
There are no guards, yeah.
Okay.
So you see, again, more of these people in their varying layers of dress, scarves, sort of like handkerchiefs hanging off, they're dancing. And you see, for the first time, you see elves in here. Yeah. They are... Roll me a history check.
Okie dokie. 15.
So you have had a bit of experience with elves. These don't look like any elves you have seen in recent years. Their skin is darker, not like drow dark, but they're very tan. Their hair is very dark. They look similar to what you've experienced as wood elves, except they have more angular features and a darker skin tone and darker auburn woody hair color. And they seem to be in a similar jovial fashion to the people you've come to know as the Vistani.
Okay. She'll poke her head and then say, when's the next revelry? Good folk?
They all kind of look to you, finally seeing you coming through the door, or finally acknowledging that you've come to the door. And one of the Vistani comes up to you and says, "Oh, a traveler! What can I do for you? What are you looking for? We don't get many people from the village."
Well, you see, I've in my travels, I've come across some things that I am looking to unload. Mostly this right here. And she pulls out the bag of the kind of that arcane dust from that orb she shattered.
Mm-hmm.
Says, and she begins to tell them the story about what it did, and how she smashed it. She has no real use for it, but she heard that they were mage folk, or they might have a use for it. And if she can make a trade or something for some wares.
Okay. Yeah. So they look at, oh yeah. You get like a whisper, like a dim murmur comes around, like, oh, yes. We could make trade with you. Yes. We have. What are you looking for? What would you like in exchange?
She sets out her 2 spell books and says, well, you see, I'd like to take several of the spells from this spell book, and I point to Theoden's spell book, into my own spell book over here. So any kind of magical ink, special kind of parchment. It's a little pricey, but I'm willing to make a trade.
What if... Well, you see... we have lost our matron. Our matron is usually the one who can handle those things.
An elder woman?
Yes.
Has a deck of special cards.
No. You have met Madame Eva.
Oh.
She is a different matron entirely. Not all Vistani people are of the same traveling group.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend.
No, it's fine. It's common misconception. We are currently led by Luvash and Aragal. I could put you in their care, and perhaps they can help you or point you in a direction. Would that do fine?
That'll be fine. Yes, that sounds great.
And the man you're speaking to gets up and begins leading you towards these other people. And as they're leading you, we'll cut over to Stewart, Thorne, and the NPC group. Yeah, let's do that. So you guys are headed towards the center of town. And as you do so, you scroll in on the map. As you do so, you are passing by houses, and the first thing you guys notice is that these houses don't seem to be in any way like what Barovia was. There's no smashed-in windows. There's no barred doors. You see people in the streets. There's no scratched-up doors. You see, like, there are signs talking about festivals that line the streets. There are people. There's a lot more, like, smokestacks producing smoke. It seems like this town is, I wouldn't say lively, but at least livelier than Barovia. As you guys are led down the main street, or as you guys are basically leading yourselves down the main street, you pass by several places. You pass by right over here. You pass by the Blue Water Inn. There's a big sign on it that says that. I assume you are asking directions as far as where to go. Once you get to like this main area here where the Blue Water Inn is, you're told to take a left down this road, and that this is the Burgomaster's house here. So you guys get all the way down to the Burgomaster's mansion, and it is larger than the one in Barovia as well. Apart from seeming more jovial, this town seems to be slightly wealthier, or at least a different kind of wealth, as you guys are in the Burgomaster's home. Let me see here. Zoom out for you guys. Perfect.
Thorne will stay near the back and make sure to wipe her feet.
Yeah. Perfect. So you are led to the outside of this, or you guys lead yourself to the outside of this house. You guys are outside this large mansion. What do you do?
Sorry, can you shift ping us to where this?
Yep, I believe you guys should be right over here. Did that work? No? Just myself?
Yeah, you gotta be on the right layer.
Maybe. Objects and tokens, this one? You guys are right over here.
There we go, okay.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I will ask Irina what to do.
She looks to you and she hops out of the cart that you're pulling, and she begins to walk up towards the mansion. You see the mansion has walls of finely plastered stone. It is showing signs of age. You see like chunks of plaster has like fallen away. You do see that while there's no bars or locked windows, that drapery covers most of the windows. But there is a large ornate archway over the main entrance. And she sort of walks right up and knocks on the door. Go ahead.
I'll put the cart down. And if she's going to knock on the door, I'm going to stand at the end of the path, like, so that I can see what's happening with her.
Okay. Yeah, so you stand there at the edge of, like, the footpath to the house. The door creaks open, and you see a woman in a similar maid costume to the one that Auntie Nanny occasionally makes her servant wear. And you can sort of hear, unless you guys are intentionally trying to hear, there's a conversation happening between Irina and this maid. And then the door closes, and Irina kind of looks back to you guys, and then Donovich sort of nods to her. And then a few minutes later, the door opens, and you see someone kind of like embrace her, and this man is in like royal fineries. It's similar but fancier than what you saw her dead father wearing. So it's fairly safe to assume this guy might be the burgomaster. And he sort of like sweeps an arm around her and begins walking her back down towards you guys. And trailing behind him are these two like older-looking, droopy-jowled mastiffs that are just like bloop, bloop, bloop behind him. And he leads her back down to you and says, you have brought me, Irina. What do I owe this favor to? What do I owe this pleasure to? Why are you here? Has something happened to Barovia?
Yeah.
You could say that. Everything bad. Yeah. So
Lots of bad stuff, but then we got told to bring Irina here because she would be safe.
Well, of course she'll be safe here behind our walls. All will be well. We had a festival but a few days ago, or a week ago, I believe. They run together. We have another one coming in 3 days. You are just in time. Stay around. Stay. We'll discuss. Thank you for bringing her. She will absolutely be safe here. I will send a letter to her father. All will be well. All will be well.
He's pretty dead.
Can I insight this guy?
You can. What are you trying to learn from him?
When he says that she'll be safe here.
When he says that she'll be safe here, he truly believes that she'll be safe here.
Truly believes it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He truly believes that all will be well.
Right.
You were saying, Gibbs?
Yeah, he kind of like makes the stage whisper. Her father's dead. We did this favor to her brother, get her out.
Oh.
Here.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Barovia's pretty fucked.
That is unfortunate, but good that you came here. This Vallaki is safe. Come inside. Come inside. We'll discuss what's happening. And he ushers you into the building. Good.
That sounds like a good proposition. But the first person who wants to tell us what the fuck this place is about.
Yeah.
So let's do that.
So he ushers you in. Thorne, do you follow as well?
She waits. She'll look at Irina.
Yeah, Irina goes with him. He kind of has his arm around her, and he kind of turns her, and they go into the house together. Donovich also hops out of the cart and begins to follow them as well.
Okay, she'll wait till everybody goes in.
Okay. So as everyone goes in, are you the last one in?
Yeah.
So as you cross the threshold, the maid woman just closes the door behind you, and that's where we'll end the scene. So you guys have finally made it to Vallaki, and you immediately split the party. Good.
It's gonna end well. Town's totally safe.
Yeah, Todd's safe. Auntie Nanny is outside of the village entirely. She's super safe.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So a little bit of combat, a little bit of cool werewolf shit going on today. So let's go around, do our introductions, then we'll go and raid our friends that are playing 6 and 20 right now. So we'll start with Toddrick. Frags, who are you? What are you doing here? And what did you think of tonight's episode?
Interesting. None of us knew where the hell we were going, so that was fun. I enjoyed it. We finally made it to the town after a whole episode of wandering around, dragging our feet, and being hungover.
Yeah.
And it was good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am KW Frags. I do moderator stuff around here sometimes, and sometimes I do regular Twitch stuff on my own. Sometimes. And other times I'm a kidnapped victim.
That's true. Sometimes you get kidnapped and then I have to rescue you. It's a real D&D adventure. We'll go over to Madfish, who got to skin wolves and get new parts of her armor today. Who are you? What are you doing here? And what did you think of tonight's episode?
I'm Madfish. I make art and things on the internet, and I made some new dice bags today.
Nice.
New ones, plaid. I'm really liking how Thorne is developing. Having a lot of fun with this character, and I think she feels like so badass right now.
Which is really all that matters at the end of the day for Thorne.
It is, but also she's learning to not just take everybody at face value, because even her party has fucked with her.
Yeah.
So you're making her cautious, and cautious lizard is maybe not a safe lizard.
Or it's the safest lizard. We don't know. We're not sure yet.
We'll
find out. We'll find out. Someone who's both cautious, concerned, and a risk taker, Auntie Nanny, Insomniacs Inc. Who are you? What are you doing here? And what did you think of tonight's episode?
Had fun tonight. Got to fight some wolf people, meet some more party folks. Began hungover from one party, about to get started with another one. I'm Insomniacs Inc., aka Rim. Here are all my links. On Twitch I paint minis. Been on like a Warhammer 40k kick lately because I hate my wallet. And so hop in. I'm painting minis, listening to music, jamming out, and sometimes playing video games and yelling at my friends.
There you go. You also stream occasionally, if that's correct?
Yes, the miniature stream is what I kind of got going on right now.
Yep. Awesome. And if you guys want some sweet artwork, maps, adventures, definitely check out Rem's work.
Oh yeah, I do that too.
Yep, he does that too. If you guys have seen the Breath of Gore campaign from Encounter Roleplay, I believe Rem, you wrote the majority of that, so take a look at that, guys. Pretty good shit. And last but definitely least, someone who does none of those things, Mr. Bitters. Who are you? What are you doing here? And what did you think of tonight's episode?
I'm Mr. Bitters. I mostly come out at night. Mostly. I don't do any of those things. I'm supposed to moderate. I don't do that either. I'm supposed to hate everything, and I don't even always do that. So I can't even wear my shirt anymore. As far as tonight's episode, I enjoyed it. I didn't get to be a werewolf.
There's still time.
Well, yeah. I mean,
yet.
Yeah. I'm just going to stack up were creatures just so you have a chance.
One day I will be in some kaiju battle.
Yeah. You'll be the other half. It's Werewolf versus Strahd is the name of the final episode. Gibbs versus Strahd. Now, do you hate everything more or less than you hate Barovia?
I mean, it's a tough call. I pretty well just channel myself into Stewart.
Into Gibbs. Perfect. So, guys, that was Curse of Strahd, I believe episode 7, The Fate of Barovia. We are going to be playing 6 and 20 tomorrow at 8 p.m. We are going to be playing more Havoc at the Hinterlands. The episode's called Betrayal on Thursday at 7 p.m. We have a new show coming soon on Sundays at 8 p.m., which is a new game and a new system called Simbaroom. I believe I will be DMing that. I know that for a fact. Sweetie is a player in that game. Miss Ginger Ninja is a player in that game. Kyle is a player in that game. And I believe we are still casting for a 4th, which is going to be pretty cool. It is a dark, low magic, fantasy, grim dark kind of world based on Swedish and old Celtic kind of thing. Definitely very cool system, very cool game. I'm excited to delve into that. And then further out, we have a Numenera game coming out soon. If you guys saw our Twitter posts about that a few weeks back, I'm currently building a campaign for that. So keep your eyeballs peeled because we're going to be playing some awesome games in the near future. And with that, guys, we're going to go raid our friend over at Video Store Cowboy, who is the DM for the 6 and 20 game here on Wednesday and the 6 and 20 game on Speedy's channel on Thursday. And today he is playing his very own 6 and 20 game on his channel, Video Store Cowboy. So go check him out and give him all of your sweet, sweet, hot little daddy raid love. And from all of us to you guys, bye-bye.